as always, when we initiate these conversations, we are always talking about the natural and the spiritual order of life. We cannot have this conversation without that order, and it has to be reminded that the spiritual order of life is God above men, men above women, women above children. Now, you can be a feminist and you would like to go around it and say God above men and men equal to women and all that. And now that's your problem. All right, that's why the problem started. That's how you ended up being a feminist. All right, and the radical feminist. I mean that because feminism is something different from what we're seeing right now. So yes, God above men, men above women, women above children. Period. Once you understand that order, you will not suffer from anything. These demons that are coming from the same house, the house of evil, shall disappear. Now, on the other platform, we are constantly talking about how most conditions hail from the sugar. On this platform, we talk about how most conditions and most of our problems hail from the center of evil, which is anger. Evil manifests in human being as anger or anger, whichever school you went to and whichever English you'd like us to use. So we have anger and anger. All right. So evil manifests through human beings in form of anger or anger. Now, every single human being has been taught anger. You were not born with anger. A child does not know anger. We are born pure. We are born without doubt and fears. We are born without all this. We are born without even religion. But we are born with common sense. And we are born with the spirit of good, which is the spirit of God. Because in the spiritual aspect of life, realize this, there is either good or evil. There's no in between. You cannot be the two. You cannot be good and evil at the same time. You're either good or evil. Choose you. Now, the thing that actually amuses me is that the spirit of good that lives in us has never judged you for anything you're doing, whether wrong or right, because it understands that you are not the one who is doing these things. You are not responsible for those actions that you're actually doing or you've done. You're not. Because you're being guided by the spirit that lives in you. So therefore, that also means we don't have a life of our own. So when you're telling us, oh, I mind my business, oh, I live a life of my own, it is a pure lie. Why? Because there are things you even know. In your own space, you actually know you cannot trust yourself. Yeah, you can tell us how we can trust you, but in your own space, sometimes you don't even trust yourself. There are things that you say, oh, I have free will. God has given us free will. And then I ask you, if you had free will, how comes you cannot overcome anger? How comes it's so difficult for you to actually control anger? Some of you tell me, I have anger, yes, but I'm in control. I'm like, So you have anger, but you are in control. How? Tell me how. When you just keep on moving from one person to another, getting angry from one thing to another, the only thing you're doing is you're trying to run away from that anger. You're trying to run away from yourself. You try to avoid it. You try to mask it. But it's still a way to come out when another episode comes in. So we are constantly suffering from the same things, but we don't know. We label them different names. All right? So you are born with the spirit of good. But some way, some form, somehow, the ones who are raising you, whether your parents or your guardians, what they did is they stripped you of your own identity. They stripped you of common sense by introducing you to religion, by introducing you to church and mosques and temples, by introducing you to schools, and all the information that they were actually trying to pump into your head was not your information. That's how you started building up these thoughts and false identities. The first people you adapted it from are your parents. And the reason why I always insist on the natural order of life, the spiritual order of life, is because any mess in that spiritual order of life, children will suffer. Now, at some point, you are a child, right? At some point in this life, you were a child. If at all you're not still a child, you are a child. So when you're growing up, you started, actually, the moment you popped out of your mother's womb, the conditioning started. You are taught how to be this type of person. You're taught how to react to the environment. You're taught who is good and who is bad. You're taught what is good and what is bad. But you are taught from a human aspect of life. The ones who taught you this are people who still had anger. Our parents had anger. They had the insecurities. They were not perfect. And in their imperfections, they raised you. What does that tell you? Because you cannot be imperfect and then purport to raise a perfect being. It's not possible. So if your mother was perfect, raise your hand. if you think your father was perfect, say hi to us. If you think maybe your father was as my father was a preacher from back then. So maybe your father or your mother has been a preacher all through, has been the pastor and the reverend, and the all through. So maybe you're thinking that because this is how he lived his life, this was the perfect way to live life, and you adapted to that life. Now, how is it possible that he was perfect and you have anger? Where did you get that anger from? Where did you pick those insecurities from? How is it possible that you're suffering now when you actually had perfect peace coming or trickling down from your father? Because that natural order of life, that spiritual order of life, means this, that love has to flow from God to the man to the woman, and from the woman to the children. So God created the man so that he can make love through him. You see that? So that he can actually continue his creation through him. And through him, the woman gets to tap the love and the energy, which will be transcended to the children. Now you see a lot of things going around. You start wondering what is happening. But the battle is always between what is good and what is evil. The battle has never been that you are Kalenjin, therefore you must get a job. That you are Kikuyu, and because you went to a Luo man's office, you did not get a job because you are Kikuyu. No. Kikuyus and Luos are fighting every time. Why? Because they are thinking, because they've been made to think by their leaders. So imagine you're designed to be a leader, and then you decide, oh, I have now a kingpin for Mulima. Mulima, we have a Luo kingpin. Imagine that nonsense. That you, as a human being, you're designed to lead on your own. You're designed to be very adequate. But you've actually sold out your identity to somebody. You've actually sold out your leadership to somebody so that he can actually lead and dominate you. Now you're calling him Baba. He is Baba. Now he has become your political father, your Luo kingpin. And now everything he says, you obey. You obey. He says, let's go left, you go left. And you're still thinking you're so adequate. You just lack an identity. They tell you to go to the streets and demonstrate. You're busy in the streets without even asking, why am I going to the streets? So you've actually handed over that power in you to somebody else. And now these people are using you. You've handed over your power to these people that you call activists. They're always on Twitter or X. They're always on X telling you where to attack, where to go. And you, as the sheep that you are, you're always going in that direction to do these things. Now, this is not a battle between Kikuyus and Luos or Kalenjins and Kikuyus. No, it's not. It's a battle between what is good and what is evil. And once you understand that, you realize it was a setup for the longest period of time. It was a setup, so you'll never care about politicians. You will simply work on yourself, and you will understand what they are doing is coming from a center of being in a fallen state. And one day they will wake up, so you'll wish them well. But you are constantly trying to fix other people. You're fixing your spouse, you're fixing your children, you're fixing your parents. Always trying to fix somebody because you want validation. You're thrilled by, you're actually thrilled by that. How can I put it? You actually enjoy the thrill that comes from that. All right? When you're trying to help people, you're not helping because you're actually genuine. You're helping because there's a thrill that comes from it and makes you feel good. You're operating under a sense of ego. That's an evil nature. So you're actually just serving your father, the devil. You're not serving God, you're serving devil. And when you popped out of your mother's womb, conditioning started. You're introduced to a different life and you're taught everything lies, because those who are teaching you these things, if they knew better, they would have taught you better. But now that you're a grown-up and you can actually see these things, you have to overcome them. You must overcome them, because you must constantly fix yourself. The more you fix yourself, the more you start seeing the bigger picture. And the more you drop that nonsense that you call, I have an opinion. I have constantly told people on my platforms that you can actually communicate without having to agree or disagree. Why do you find need to agree or disagree? Why do you find need to always pick sides? Why do you find need to always have an opinion and pass a judgment? Because anytime you create an opinion, you've passed a judgment. The same scriptures that you people are reading are telling you judgment belongs to the one who is above. If at all there's anybody who is above here. For me, I know it's that spirit of good is in your heart. There is nothing here in the skies. Your story. So understand this, that this is not me trying to remodel you to be me, to think like me. No, this is me trying to actually shed light on your path. And if that light makes sense, follow it. If it doesn't make sense, I mean, just move on. So the moment or the day that you realize you can actually communicate without agreeing or disagreeing, perfect peace is coming in. That is the moment that you will see yourself getting angry. You will actually catch yourself getting angry. Do you know how important that is? And actually, it is so important that you people become angry or get anger so that you can actually die from that spirit of anger and resurrect in the spirit of good. Because without that anger, you will not know that the problem is actually here. So anger is actually good for those people who still want to live in hell. Because through that anger, through that suffering, they will actually drop all their weapons and they will call on the spirit of good, which is the truth. And the truth shall set you free. And the truth wants you to actually seek it. The problem is we are constantly thinking that we have to be sought upon by the truth. Truth cannot seek for you. It is you to seek the truth. Why? Because truth is general. It's actually universal. It's there for everybody, just like money. Everybody, there's money everywhere. So it's your duty to tap in ways to pick this money. Instead of complaining, oh, you know, the economy is difficult. Oh, you know, COVID did this. Oh, you know, it's because of maandamano. That money will always be circulating in the economy. It is you to actually put in the work. As you complain about the president, there's somebody who is making millions right now. The only difference is he has failed to focus on what is actually bringing in all this negative vibe, and he has focused on his craft. He has decided, I'm going to do this craft. I will wake up and do it, whether there's mandamano or not. I'll wake up and do it over and over. As you complain about economy, as we complained about COVID, there were COVID billionaires. People just ordered masks and sold masks. People just ordered condoms and sold those condoms as you people were having sex during COVID season. Or somebody who was supplying the condoms and made a lot of money out of it. So the moment you drop that anger and the spirit of complaining, always thinking that the world owes you something, it doesn't. The moment you drop that, you realize there is a lot that has always been under your nose. You've never seen it because you're blinded by the spirit of evil, lies. Most of us are so much, we are full of lies. We can't even stand the truth. And we will tell each other, you know what, just tell me, just be honest with me. You're telling somebody to be honest with you, and yet you have anger in you. How will you stand the truth? Spirit of evil hates the truth. It does hate the truth. It can't stand the truth. So when you're telling that person, oh, you know, babe, babe, just be honest with me. Well, have you overcome anger so that you can actually be told, you know what, babe, you know, I just had sex with your friend at the gate right now. Hello. You're looking your husband into his eyes and you're telling him, babe, please tell me the truth. Just be honest with me. You know I love you. Husband is like, you love, now women can love men. We thought there is men who love women and women submit and respect the men. So now you love me. So I have become your son because women can only love children. So now I have become your son. And you really want the truth from me. How will you handle it? How? If at all what I'm saying right now is difficult for you to handle, how will you handle the news that your husband is just broken to you? You know what, babe? Because I love you, let me just be honest with you, okay? And I hope out a kasrika. You're like, no, babe, I know, But already you are showing, your face is already showing. The anger is coming, it's just brewing. My husband is like, should I or should I not? But because he's a bitter male, very weak, because he still has the spirit of his mother inside him, he thinks if he opens up to you, oh, you will be in love. You will love him. Now remember, back then in high school, those of you who went through high school or secondary school, we could commit a crime, right? You commit a crime and all of you are held now, accountable. Because they used to say, you can shout as a group. Mr. 𝗗𝗚𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗙, the incumbent, is it incumbent or incoming? Whichever the case. He used to say, Governor of Vihiga County, he used to say this. You can shout as a group, but when we narrow down to individuals, when now we've packed your box and we've told you, you know, Lewis Muchile, this is an indefinite suspension for you. You will be alone. You will remember you came alone and you will leave alone. So this is exactly what I'm telling you. That now your husband has decided, because, you know, my wife wants me to be honest with her. Let me just, I know if I'm honest, she will love me more. So let me be honest. And then you tell her, you know, you know, I just I just kissed Njeri out here right now. But it was the spirit of evil. It was the devil that was tempting me. We did not do anything more. I just it was just temptations. I was drunk and I ended up kissing her. Yeah. Before you finish that statement, the look that you will feel the energy, the look that you will have, it is at that moment that you will know. Yeah, it is at this moment that I knew. Amazing. So you're trying to actually lure her with these false identities of truth, because it's not the truth. You're just an evil person, and all of us are evil. Listen, when you call your relatives evil, because they are, until they are working on, until the day they start working on themselves to become better, you call your relatives evil, these people will run away from you helter skelter. Hey, misamiati imeanza. They will run away from you so fast. But as long as you are agreeing with them and lying to them every time, massaging their ego and supporting them, oh, they are there hugging you every time. Oh, jua mtoto wetu ni daktari. Oh, mtoto wetu ni lawyer. Kijana yetu, kijana yetu, unafaa ukuje usimame MCA. See how village people lie to you. You should come and be an MCA. So they're actually pumping your ego. Hey, maybe they have MCA. Let me come. They will support. We will support you because wewe ni kijana yetu. You have grown here. We know you very well. Please, we know, daktari, whatever you're doing is a good job. But we want you to come and do it from here. I'm like, so for the first time a prophet is being accepted. Yeah, from where he comes from. I'm like, amazing. So let me see. Let me talk to some people and I'll come. Yeah? Ati wanakusupport. And then when you fail terribly, they'll tell you, wewe tulikuambia bana, hii kazi ya siasa achana nayo, enda ukuwe daktari, tuachana na siasa bana. Siasa hiyo ni wakora. But they told you to come and support them. Come and bring all this information here. Those who view you in diaspora, they lie to you. Oh, you know what? Everything is here. Of course we lie to you, everything is here. But you are here. Before you left, you were here. The only problem is you left with the same spirit that you are with here. You did not fix your spirit. So you are just in another country, but the same spirit. If any case, we are constantly serving the spirit that lives in us. So please, never tell people that I'm living my life. You don't have a life. You don't have a life. Which life do you have? Oh, at my choice. You don't have a choice. You are actually serving the spirit that lives in you. So it controls you. So everything you're doing is actually you serving the spirit that lives in you. And look at it this way. We are a spirit existing in this physical way, right? So there's a spirit inside us, so either good or evil, depending on who taught you how to live a life. Depending on if you overcome your thoughts. The more you're listening to your thoughts and feelings, the more you suffer, the more you're in hell. So when you overcome and you have the spirit of good, there is no way you'll do evil. How? How can you be guided and controlled by the spirit of good and you still do evil? Is it true? How can you ati Zakayo alianza hivi, boom, yeah, Zakayo mara kuku kidogo analia kanisani kura. Anyway, so listen. So we are a physical body but experiencing life. We are just a spirit experiencing life in a physical way. So inside us there's a spirit that actually guides us. So because all of us were born with the spirit of good, because I want you to understand this, all of us were born with that spirit of good, okay? So because we were born with that spirit of good, the one who started raising us and molding us into their own image, number one, was our parents. Now understand, if you know that spiritual order of life, that God above men, men above women, and women above children, and you know that love flows from God through the man, to the woman, to the children, you will understand that there is no absolute reason why a woman should provide for a man. There is no absolute reason. It's actually a curse that a child can actually take care of their parents. Even the scriptures say a parent is supposed to make wealth for his great-grandchildren. Don't just be there waiting to succeed through your children. Don't be there waiting to be for your children to be your retirement plan. No, but this is what you're doing, you people. So these children have to live a half life because they have to support you. They cannot be independent of you. So you're constantly controlling them. And when they don't send you something, you start being angry. You start actually victimizing them. You start actually playing the victim. Oh, you know what? My children have left me. And in the urban setups, parents are messing up their children because they don't understand the order of life. They've never upheld that order of life. They've never overcome anger. So you are born through that order of life, and that's how you're supposed to be. If that order was maintained, which means your father knew that he was the sole provider, your mother submitted and respected and obeyed your father, you will grow in a family that has that order. But your mother is constantly teaching you how to actually get money, be independent of the man so that you don't suffer in that marriage. So already you've been sold the idea that marriage is a hot seat, that you get into it with one foot and always find money so that you can actually have an exit. So you people never get into marriage with both feet. No wonder those marriages are failing. You're giving it 50% because your mother told you, you know what, uko kuna shida mingi, just because of what she experienced with her choice, your father. That's her own problems. But she's imposing these problems in you, trying to protect you from her evil nature, when she can't, because she's evil. So the only thing she knows is the evil, the darkness. So she will only teach you darkness. So she's telling you, you know what? No, you have to have something in that marriage. Oh, and now you've demonized marriage. That depending on a man has now been demonized. Imagine a woman should depend on a man. Don't even imagine. Know that a woman is supposed to depend on a man. That's the only way you can establish submission and respect. But now you've been sold the idea that, you know what, you don't have to depend on this man, because if you depend on him, atakuwa kichwa atagrow kichwa, atamea pembe. That women who actually depend on men are suffering because these men are taking them for granted. Imagine that lie, that nonsense. Where did they get it from? They got it from the insecurities in their marriages. They got it from their mothers, because of the problems that their mothers were having with their fathers. They were weak fathers. So this is not about your husband. No, this is about your mother trying to protect you against her husband, your father. And now she remodels you into her own image. Once she does that, you lack an identity. My friend, you will suffer. And guess what? The more she's telling you the negatives about that marriage, the negatives of the marriage, the more you attract the same negatives, because you resent what she's actually telling you and you become that. You run away from the weaknesses of your father because he's guarding you against the weaknesses of your father. Your mother does not know your husband. So if your mother does not know your husband, she cannot advise you about a husband that is not there. All she's doing is she's advising you against your father because she knows your father. Hello? Let me repeat. Hey, watch it once. Your mother, ladies, listen to this. Come closer. Your mother cannot advise you about your husband. She doesn't know your husband. Those advices that she's giving you about marriage, she's just trying to tell you how her marriage is. So she's trying to make sure that you as a woman don't experience the life that she's actually lived in her marriage. But you see, that is not your husband. That is her husband. So she's advising you against her husband. So now you start resenting your father without knowing. You resent your father because you're thinking that, okay, if at all marriage is this, what your mother is painting, the image that your mother is painting in your head, that is the marriage that you're now thinking about. You're like, but how did they stick around all these times? How many of you women, your daughters ask you, how have you stuck around this man for this long when he's an evil man? Because they see his weaknesses through you as a woman. And now you want to advise these daughters of yours how to stick in a marriage when your marriage is problematic. How? You want to advise them how to behave under a man when you are unable to behave under that man. You're actually teaching them to be against their fathers. Let me share this live to her, Kuja. Please bring your mother on board, because we must whip her. And as you bring her, remind her that she can actually press the request button to be a guest, so that she can bring her emotions. Because women are so emotional out here. And the problem is not them. It is the spirit that has actually been planted into them by their mothers. And their mothers, they didn't want to do this. They were doing that to protect these children from the weaknesses of their fathers. Because most men nowadays are so weak. Not even nowadays. Even our fathers were weak. It's only that for women those days, marriage was an ultimate goal. So once you get married, period, that's the ultimate goal. And they were loaded this into their heads by their mothers, that they cannot be complete until they get married, and they have to get married early. I'm not saying it's dangerous to be married early. If any case, go and get married early, but fix your identity first before you think about marriage. Thank you so much. Welcome on board Live Your Fit. I appreciate you, brother. Sio Kimau is in the building. Karibu shona. So listen. So when that order of life is distorted, children suffer because the reason why that order is distorted is always a weak man. A weak man. Either absence of the man or weaknesses in the man. If a father is absent in a child's life, there is no love. A woman has to tap love from the father so that it can actually be transcended to the children. That's why men teach women how to raise their children. But nowadays, women are getting these teachings from Google, from YouTube. So they are learning online from TikTok how to make a child sleep, how to feed a child, how to breastfeed. They are learning it from TikTok, because even nurses nowadays, they don't teach women how to breastfeed. The techniques of breastfeeding, they don't. All they tell these women after they give birth is, enda ukunywe koko, chai ya koko itakuletea maziwa. That's all they tell them. Shame on these nurses nowadays. So when that order is distorted, that order starts being distorted from the man. Let me call him the male. So if the male is weak, the woman resents that weakness, and then the woman protects the children from that weakness. By protecting the children from that weakness, she is remodeling these children into her own image. Now these children become a mini version of their mothers. And so you can imagine, as a woman, getting married to a man who has her mother inside, his mother inside his heart. Imagine that. Imagine there was no father, or there was a weak father. And then your mother ended up remodeling you as a man, as a son, into her own image, an emotional being, an angry being. Because there was a weakness of a father, she resented your father, and then she protected you against this evil nature of the weaknesses of your father. Now when she was doing that, she was trying to raise you into a certain way, remodeling you into her own image. And now you became a mini version of your mother. Now imagine the women that you're going to attract. Because when she remodeled you into her own image, you started resenting her without knowing. You thought that this was the right way to be raised. You believed that, and you became that. So you just became a mini version of your mother, and you're a man. Now because you're running away from your mother, because all these chaos inside you are problematic, so you're running away from her physically, but you end up attracting the same woman in your relationship. Why? Just in a different body. Because you have your mother inside you, and we attract who we are. So inside you have your mother. Now you attract your mother, and then you look at the mirror, who is your wife, you are unable to stand her. Why? Because she's just a different body, but the same spirit of your mother. And it's you who attracted her, because this is your choice, and the choice came from inside you. So therefore, don't pay attention to what is happening outside you. Pay attention to what is happening inside you. Because that's how you start winning this. The moment you catch yourself feeling angry or getting angry, that is the beautiful moment for you to start your journey of recovery. Because the moment you catch yourself, it means you're actually starting to become aware. The moment you catch yourself getting angry every time, you just catch yourself. By the way, you can actually see it. You can see anger coming. You make a choice to actually react. So when you catch yourself and make a choice not to react, you're actually becoming aware, self-awareness. That's where it begins. Now, when you become self-aware, that is how light shines on your way. That is how the truth starts coming your way. And now it's time for you to accept this truth. You must overcome those that are inside you, so that you become your own self, so that you don't see the truth and make judgments of it. So that you don't see the truth and hate the truth. So therefore, you must go and face your mother and apologize to her, because you've been resenting her. And it's wrong for you as a human being to resent human beings. Remember, these are the images of God. They are made and designed in the image of God. So therefore, if you resent them, you're resenting God. So what do? You go and face them and you tell them, you know what? Along the way, when you remodeled me into your own image, you actually got me this false identity. And now that I know better, I cannot judge you. Because I understand. Because when I'm aware, I know that these people did not raise me this way because they wanted to do this. No. They were in a fallen state. And they couldn't do anything better. They couldn't help themselves. So it is my fault to resent them. So I have to go and face them and tell them, you know what, now that I know better and I understand, if you knew better, you would have actually done better. But you couldn't help yourself. I apologize for resenting you for no good reason. You tell that to your mother. Now, most men fear their mothers. Most men fear their mothers. That's why they're always in gossip centers. They have their mothers in their hearts. They are afraid of their mothers. They hate them, but they don't know. Tell them to go and face their mothers and apologize to their mothers, and you will know that these men actually hate their mothers. They are afraid of their mothers. That's why your mother-in-law is always in your bedroom. Imagine your mother-in-law in your bedroom. So then one day if he finds you, now she has to spit saliva everywhere. Blessing the bedroom. Blessing which bedroom? Where? Hey. Go to the bedroom of your husband. Why is your mother-in-law doing? What is she doing in your bedroom? Huh? So she has caught your husband by the throat. She's controlling your husband everywhere. That's why these same women will come with the wife. At you, this is the right wife for you, my son. Wachana na msichana wa town. Huyu ndo Naliaka is here. We present Naliaka to Jonte. now Jonte has Naliaka. Because you know my mother cannot give me something wrong. My mother, hey! Married women know. Mother-in-laws and sisters-in-laws. These two people. Naliaka, these two people. If you're here, you're Naliaka. Understand this. Naliaka, please. Mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. Like my wife. The hardest tussle she has to win is a battle between my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. Oh, my mother and my sister, sorry. Because these two people have this form of entitlement that they think that you are actually coming in to take what belongs to them. Like mother-in-laws, they'll be always thinking, oh, you know what? I think brother-in-laws are good. Sister-in-laws, yeah. Sister-in-law with your in-laws, with your sisters and your mother. Chaos will start because you have never actually established control. So your mother is still in your head, controlling you as a man, telling you all these things. Now chaos here. Now your wife is here, and your wife, because she has no identity, she's seeking advice from her mother. And her mother is constantly lying to her, trying to remodel her into her own image. So all of you, then you start arguing in that marriage. Arguing every single day. You are not arguing. The two of you are not arguing. The two of you are actually arguing with the devil. So you're not arguing against each other. You're arguing with the devil inside you. And you see two angry people arguing, you're thinking, they are fighting each other. No, they are not. It's just the two of them arguing with the devil inside them. They will say, hey, you must feel right. So say this. The other one is being told the same thing. Please tell him this. Tell her this so that you feel better. You say those words, you try to feel better. She says a word that actually hurts your ego. Huh? You tell her, unajua, you're too wide. And then she tells you, mambo ya gato achana na wewe. Wewe, hata length. Like, girth, length, hey. You know, I don't have girth because you are wide. Now she's telling you, no. It's not about me being wide. It's about you being small. You're like, ndakupiga. Ndakupiga. Now today she wins the argument. You let the ego down. Tomorrow she wins an argument. You become physical. Oh, you've seen men arguing. So mother-in-laws, spare those daughters of in-law, the in-laws. Let your son make his own decisions. But most men are dominated by their mothers all through. And then now they marry their mothers. And then those wives that they've married, basically they've married their mothers. And those mothers that they've married, they dominate their children. You wonder why we're having all these emotional sons out here in the streets demonstrating. The mother power, the weaknesses of their fathers, the absence of fathers. So when there is no spiritual aligning, women are the first ones to suffer. And when they suffer, they can't die alone. They die with the children. They die with the children. And it's a role of a father to protect the children from this emotional aligning towards the woman. So the first role of a father is to actually protect children from the emotions that are coming from their mothers. But then how can you as a father protect your children when you are attached to these children? How? How do you protect them from emotions when you are emotionally attached to them? Do you see that? How then can you control them? How can you actually teach them not to be emotional when you are dominated by your mother, who is the wife that you actually married? How? How? If you think I'm lying, somebody right now who is going through the same, you are going through the same. Your sister-in-law is constantly shouting in your ears, telling you how you're inadequate. Eh? You, as a mother, you moved to the urban setup in your son's house. You're there now quarreling with his wife. There's chaos, and you can see your weak son being unable to even tell you, hey, kwani ni wangapi? You're busy struggling to sit in the front seat in the car of your son or your husband. You're telling mother-in-law to sit by her, and mother-in-law is telling you, hey, I came before you. Hey, eh? All of you want to sit in the front seat. Hii ni gari ya kijana yangu. No, this is my husband's car. You're always fighting, right? To sit in the front seat. Ego. Now, that son of yours is there, seated there, looking at you people arguing. He's so weak, he can't even tell you, hey, please, hey. Can we behave? Why he can even drive off and leave you arguing there. Hey, tupatane. Sasa muna argue hapo. Ai, na kijana ako kwa gari. Ameshikilia steering. Hey, my mother and my wife always argue. He's even calling Radio Jambo. Patanisho. Waluya. Patanisho. Unajua bibi yangu na mama yangu wanapigana vita sana juu ya kiti ya mbele. Kiti zaidi ya mimi. I'm like, hey. Well, in the spiritual aspect of life, there is no religion. There's just what's good and what is evil. And there are a lot of evil people out here. Somebody has pinned a question here. Let me see. Thick base. Thanks to you, my dad is a dictator. Thanks a lot, Muchile. We've gone through shit because of you. Hey. Now you see, mistake number one. Thick. Hey, thick is THIQUE_base. Number one, I am not your problem. No, I am not. You are your own problem because one, you need to fix your identity because there's no way you can use this name and you tell me you have an identity. No. That tells me something. Number two, by the time you look at your father and you call him a dictator, you've actually taken a side. So you've actually created an opinion and passed a judgment on your father. So you're calling him a dictator. Now this is a person who gave you life. So basically it means there's a disconnect between you and your source. Because the biological father is the spiritual, is actually the earthly representation of God to a child. So whether you like it or not, you are thinking that your problems are coming because I have actually impacted your father positively. That is not my problem. That is your problem because you lack an identity. You must find your identity. You see, you don't have an identity. That's why you can't have confidence in your name. Number two, you don't have an identity. That's why you actually pick sides because you want to feel validated. Now you want to play a victim and blame it on Uncle Chile. No, Uncle Chile has nothing to do with you. Just the same way you're on this life and you're finding light, your father found this light at the same place. So your father was going through suffering. He saw light. He followed the light. And now you, because you're in the fallen state, you're complaining because you can't understand that you actually seen light. When you find an identity, you stop paying attention to anybody around you. You pay attention to yourself. So I highly recommend this, that you start fixing yourself. Go and face your mother and overcome her evil nature. Go and overcome her anger and emotions. And then go and face your father and apologize for resenting him, for just him being himself. So look at it this way. Even if your father was so evil, why would you become angry at your father living in hell? It is his own hell. So he's living in hell. So why are you angry about your father being in hell? He has not dragged you into the hell. He decided, oh, you know what, I've made a perfect choice to be in this hell of mine. And now you are angry for him being in his own hell. Does it even make sense to you? It doesn't make sense. So stop playing a victim and blaming everybody around you. The problem is you lack of an identity. So wake up, all right? Wake up. The moment you wake up, you will actually see your father doing what he does. You will not even judge him. You will wish him well. He decided to follow a path. Why do you want him to stick in your hell? He has decided to have his own place. He has decided to do his life on his own. Whether he got that information from me or not, you still complain. If he got it from himself, you still complain about him. So it's not me. You're just unable to actually pick that up and look yourself in the mirror and know, you know what? I am weak, I have no identity, and it's time for me to fix my identity. So now you want to seek validation by blaming other people. It's fine, we allow you, but because we've seen light, we see you in the fallen state, we hope that one day the light shines on your path. So we wish you well, Thick. Hello, Daktari. Thanks for your nuggets of wisdom. Last week, I took the bold step of facing my parents and overcoming them, as you've always advocated. Kudos. John Mwangi. I can assure you that feeling is amazing. That feeling of overcoming your parents. You will never know it until you do it. No, you will never know it. You will struggle to understand the beauty about it. You will struggle to understand what perfect peace is until you overcome your mother, until you overcome the weakness of your father. And the only way to overcome is you go and face your mother, and because you try to remodel into her own image, you apologize to her for resenting her for doing that, because now you understand that she is not the one who was doing that. Just the same way, you are not the one who is doing things that you're doing. You're guided by the spirit that lives inside you. So she was guided by the spirit of anger, by the spirit of evil, and she ended up remodeling into her own image. So she stole your identity. So you're going to pick your identity from her. When you do that, when you just tell her those words, you don't have to get any reaction from her. You don't have to be accepted into her life. No. You're going there to pick your identity from her. So you don't care about anything else. You don't even care about her response. You don't even care if she will understand what you mean or not. It's none of your business. Your business is to gather the courage to face her and then apologize for resenting her so that you can overcome her false identity. Now, face your father now, your biological father, because you have to reconnect with the source. Go and face him and tell him, you know what? I realize along the way, I've been resenting you for no good reason. But I know that I'm wrong. And because I'm wrong, I apologize. The first thing you're doing when you're saying that, you're actually taking the blame. You're actually taking responsibility. So you're going to lower his ego. All right? And number two, you're actually overcoming by facing him. Oh, my friend, it's called perfect peace. Most of us don't have perfect peace. That's why we are constantly trying to fix other people. You see, if I'm here to fix you, I am just operating from the center of evil. My role is to share the truth, and if you see the truth, follow it. That's how you're supposed to operate. Because you're a person who is evil. All of us are evil, but we are constantly fixing ourselves. When you're doing the silent prayer, when you face your parents and overcome them, oh, the silent prayer helps you to overcome those thoughts. And you just take time and reflect in your head. If there is a single thought that is made by you, please take me through the process of making that thought. If there is a single thought in your head that you think, this thought is made by me, by yourself, please take me through that process of making your own thoughts. If they are not brought in by education, they are not brought in by other people through either books or scriptures, if they're not brought in by your parents, where did you get that script from? You know very well that the only reason why you're a Christian is because you're born to Christian parents. The only reason why you're a Muslim is because you're born to Muslim parents. So you're exposed by your parents. Now you believed and you became. Now suffering started. So whatever you're seeing in these relationships and these marriages, the chaos that you're seeing in these relationships, this is spiritual dominance. The evil nature doesn't want you to see light. And because it wants to survive in you, it cannot allow you to even face your mother. No, it can't. It can't. Anytime you go and face your mother, there will be words coming into your throat and choking you and going back. Every single minute. Oh, you'll sit one day and gather confidence. You're seated on that table eating those chapos. And you're looking at your mother and every single thought in your head is telling you, please don't say it. Please don't say it. Please, she will get upset. Please, she'll never make these chapos again. Oh, your mother will be so emotional. Please, she has done nothing wrong to you. It is not you who is having those thoughts. Those are not your thoughts. The spirit of evil is controlling you to actually not to get your identity, because once you get the identity, you die from the evil, you get into the good, and the evil does not want to die in you. That's why most of us are just evil. So whatever you're seeing out here is a battle between what is good and what is evil. A battle what is good and what is evil. You're either a good person or an evil person. Choose you. If you're constantly working on yourself, you'll see yourself getting angry. You'll catch yourself getting angry. You'll overcome it. Sometimes 10 seconds are enough to make you know that that thought in your head, that anger that is coming out, that response that you want to make is irrelevant. It is very irrelevant. 10 seconds only. 10 seconds are enough to tell you, even 2 seconds are enough to tell you, you know what, you don't have to hoot back at this guy who is hooting at you. You don't have to respond at somebody who is talking to you. Just listen sometimes. 10 seconds are enough. You can even count in your head as somebody is speaking to you and trying to irritate you. Count 10 seconds before you respond to anything. Then tell me if your response will be actually valid. But because you're in the need to actually feel better, you're chasing a thrill, oh, you'll be in a hurry to respond. So do you think you have a life of your own? At this moment in time, do you think you have a life of your own? When you start saying, oh, I have a life of my own, yeah, I have a life of my own. Do you now think you have a life of your own? If you had a life of your own, why do you still overreact? Why are you unable to actually just overcome the anger? Why is it problematic that anger still controls you? Why is it that you think you have control over your anger? Because that's, most of you say that. Oh, you know, I have control. You know, I see myself, I get angry. I don't have anger, but I get angry. How did you get angry without anger? How did you get angry without anger? Now you blame everything around you. Now realize this. It is abnormal to be angry. It is so abnormal to be angry. That is number one. Number two, nothing or no one can trigger or can get you angry. Nothing or no one can trigger or get you angry. If people or things get you angry, it is not about them, it's about you. You have anger and they helped you to exercise your anger. They just help you to exercise your anger. So they are not the problem. You are the problem, because it's so abnormal for you to get angry just because somebody said something. Imagine that. Why are you getting angry because somebody said something? Why even getting angry because I am living in my hell? Won't you just wish me well? Like, you know what? I understand you. Whatever you're making is coming from the state of anger and you're in a fallen state. And because I can see it, I wish you well. Why do you always have to win an argument? You don't have to win an argument. If any case, there's no argument. It's just thoughts in your head. Anger is just an emotion, just like happiness and horniness. That is very good, easy shabba. But let me remind you this, that you see, all these things that you're actually raising, they are coming from the same center. Happiness and anger are the same emotion. They are the same. The same things that actually get you happy. They are the same things that actually get you depressed. Oh, my boyfriend loves me. He brought me flowers. Of course, she brought you flowers, if you know what I mean. Oh, my boyfriend brought me flowers. The same boyfriend does not want to marry you. You're angry at him and you blame him. The same boyfriend has no identity, so he's actually turning you into a slut. Yes, I said she. Because only weak males with estrogen are the ones who actually buy attention by sending women flowers. Men are supposed to reward women for doing good, not just buying women flowers as gifts and buying them necklaces. No, you see them on the internet. They buy a car today, tomorrow they're actually withdrawing, and they buy a car and then they put a camera to show people, you know what, I bought this one, this poor girl, this one who did not have a father. I have bought her a Nissan Note. You know, she did not have a father. You see, she has piercings all over. So I have bought her this car so that I convert her into a slut, so that slutty nature in her serves my interests. Once the slutty nature dies, I will just take this car and give it to another woman to convert her into a new slut. At love and happiness and sadness have different locations of representation. Well, you see, intellect gets you out of common sense. You're talking about hypothalamus as though it's the newest word in town. Nothing is new. We know all these things, my sister. Hypothalamus. Now you have to throw in that hypothalamus to throw us off balance. Oh, guy. Yeah, because you have to seek validation. Yeah, you have to seek validation because you know something. What makes you happy? Yeah, please. What makes you happy? And tell me what makes you sad. Eh, man after Senemtelezi, pill dog, you know that. They will buy you all these flowers, they'll make you happy. Because they know that inside you are so emotional. You are so empty, and whatever they do will get you high. So it's a false sense of high. The next minute, once these guys are not there, you are very low. Just like alcohol. You go to a club, you drink alcohol, and the friends that actually buy you're drinking alcohol with make you feel good. There's good company, there's all this vibe and all that. Once the friends are out and you're alone, you realize you have always been lonely. Now you have to buy them alcohol again to maintain that circle of vibes. Because without that, you are a lonely person. You're as boring as hell. I would like Iza Shaba to Easy Shaba. Hey, what is that? Easy Shaba. You can actually request to be a guest. We have this conversation. You will see a lot of things. Because I can see you actually going that direction. And I don't want to go that rabbit hole with you. No, I just want you to go there, and then, you know, all of us have to suffer so that you can actually see the sense. All right? So you can suffer in your own hell, and then when you see light, you can actually request to be a guest, and we have that conversation. Possibly you can learn something from that conversation. But now, me reading your text every single time to respond to that, it doesn't make sense at all. Is overthinking a sign of lack of identity? Yes. So let me mention things here. Yes, it is. Now look at it this way. You see, all these things are hailing from the same house. The house is the house of evil, aka anger or anger. That is the house. That's the bigger house. From this house, we have daughters and sons of the evil spirit of the devil. Daughters of Satan, the Jezebels are here. They are coming from this house. We have the Cains coming in. So we label them different names. So, loneliness, spirit of shy, fear, worry, insecurity, overthinking, depression, anxiety, inadequacy, all of them are different demons from the same house. Hiya. All that I've mentioned, all of these are different demons from the same house. The only difference is they have different names. They've been labeled different identities. And that is you who names this, because you identify with that and you name yourself that way. Like, for example, if I have fear, if I have anger inside me, the only way I express that anger is through one of these ways. So I can be lonely, I can be anxious, I can be depressed, I can be nervous, I can worry about everything, I can overthink. So you see, if I'm overthinking, I label myself an overthinker. So I identify with that label. It is the same spirit. This thing that you call emotional love is actually same house. So when you're overthinking, when you're jealous, these are just different labels for the same house, for the same spirit. The mother is this house of anger. And now from that house of anger, different sons are coming out, different daughters are coming out. So we have the same problems. Everybody around the world has the same problems, but with different names. Look at the depressed going to a psychiatrist to get antidepressants. When this is a spiritual battle, a lack of a father or a weak father, they should actually get back to their source and the depression is gone. But they will prefer not to get back to the source, but head to a psychiatrist to take an antidepressant. Now they have Prozac. Now they are taking amitriptyline. But spiritual problems cannot be fixed with a medication. Hello? Even your psychiatrist is struggling with marriage. Your marital counselor has a wife who is very stubborn, who doesn't respect or submit to him or her. Your marital counselor is gay, he's a lesbian, doesn't understand anything about this, but because of intellect, just the same way Easy is actually putting it out, intellect distracts you from evil, because intellect comes from a center of evil. Without common sense, intellect is useless, because it gives you some form of ego. Why do our parents force you to go to church? Because that's what they know better, Junior. That's what they know better. They were also forced by their parents. So they are raising you according to how they were raised and according to their past experiences. So they are remodeling you to their own image. They are trying to protect you from their evil nature, but they end up imposing that evil nature in you. Because they had anger, so they thought that solace is coming in from church. But they forced you into the church, but you still have problems. So if the church is the solution and they push you into the right direction, how is it possible that you still have anger? If you're a Christian, how is it possible that Christ died for your sins and you still suffer? You still obey masturbation. You still obey sex and fornication. How did that come to happen? How? How are you suffering when the one who actually came took away that suffering from you? How then are you suffering? Huh? Even your pastor has anger. So then how is he going to teach you about God when he has the spirit of evil inside him? How? All right? So all those spirits are actually, including the spirit of actually thinking negative about yourself. It's another devil coming from that same house. Okay? So situations might be different. One situation is giving you happiness, the other situation is giving you sadness. You will never be satisfied emotionally. You'll always be here and there, here and there. That instability, makes you to suffer. And until you let that guard down, and you allow the spirit of light to actually shine your way, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. So spiritual problems need spiritual solutions. Spiritual problems need spiritual solutions. And how do you fix your spiritual aspect of life? Because your spirit controls your mental and your physical. There's no way you can actually fix the two without that one. This is where you belong. And in that state, there's no conditions, there's no diseases and all these issues of depression and anger. There's no lack of identities. There's no pain and suffering. You can experience physical pain, you overcome them, right? But the spiritual pain is what I'm talking about. And this is not a conversation for the average people. Not a conversation for the average people. All right? So no drug, no antidepressant is going to fix that depression. It's actually going to cause you more depression. No pastor can put, even if he decides to put a foot on your head, those problems are not going anywhere. You can go on the mountains and fast and pray and come back. You will still have the same problems, even more. You can go and sweep that road for that prophet, but you still have the same problems. Same problems. You can go to the witches. You can go to that village herbalist who is well known, but he's not going to fix anything. You will fix your own self. Imagine somebody trying to fix you when he cannot fix himself. Why is it so important that I have to fix you when you can fix yourself? Why don't you fix yourself? I mean, why am I here to help you? I'm not here to help you. I'm here to serve God and move. And the only way to serve God is to ease pain and suffering from his people. Tell them the truth. Now it's upon them to accept it. If they don't, that's their own problem. Because most people love their hell, so they can actually be in hell. And if you love them, you actually let them suffer. You let them stay in that hell. Because everybody has to get through that door alone. The spirit and the kingdom is within you. The spirit and kingdom is within you. Heaven and hell are within you. I think prophets even have more problems than their followers. And you see, that's the problem. Imagine you are designed to be a whole and complete human being, but you decide to be a follower. You decide to be a follower to the prophet. Prophet. Somebody was just gotten a label from here at your prophet. Now you have to follow him. Well, crazy, man. Go fix yourself. You must fix yourself for you to see the bigger picture and you see the lie. Because all these people who are using out here trying to preach everything to you, to push their message into you, they are all fallen in a fallen state. They are all serving the devil because they are relying on their thoughts and intellect. Most of them studied theology. Most of them just read the Bible and just become people who can preach. And now they are preaching to you what they understand when they have anger. Now they preach to you, they collect 5 verses, they preach to you, and then once they do that, they remodel you into their own image, they get you emotional, now you have to go to give. Once you give, you go home more broke than you came in. Your problems are still the same. And I'll repeat, the kingdom is within you. How do I stop overthinking? Overthinking is the nature of a woman. If you're a son, if you're a man, villain, if you're a villain or villain, whatever it is, if you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. Go and overcome your mother. The only way to become adequate, because overthinking comes from a sense of insecurity. That's a sense of inadequacy. And imagine, once stop identifying yourself with overthinking. That's not you. That's a label that you're identifying with. Stop identifying with that label. Okay? Stop identifying with that label. That's a thought in your head. And then you're identifying with those thoughts. So one, stop identifying with that label. Number two, go and find your identity, because you don't have an identity. That's why you're identifying with anything around you. You can actually stop overthinking today, and tomorrow you'll be lonely. So you just change the demon, but the same house. So go and face your mother and overcome her. Tell her, you know what? I realized along the way I've been resenting you for no good reason. And because I knew if you knew better, you'd raise me better. I apologize for resenting you. I am a human being and I'm not supposed to resent you as my mother. But because I know better now, I really apologize for actually resenting you. I'm sorry. Tell her that outright. So that that emotional feeling in you disappears. That's the nature of a woman in a person. So it disappears. And then go and face your father, because you want to overcome your father's weaknesses. His weaknesses are the reasons why you are suffering, because his weaknesses caused your mother to remodel you into her own image, trying to protect you against his weaknesses. So you go and face your father and you tell him, you know what, Dad, I actually appreciate that you've raised me to be this person that I am right now. However, along the way, I realized I've been resenting you. And I don't want to resent you any further. So I apologize. Just say those words, just exact same way. Oh, that spirit of evil overthinking will disappear. And then now from there, you start sticking into the silent prayer. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you do before anything, you do a silent prayer. 10 minutes of a silent prayer. Just be silent and just allow your thoughts to flow into your head. Do the same thing at night, so that you go to bed with an empty slit in your head, no thoughts at all. And you wake up and start the day with an empty slit, so that you write your own story. And then you stay present every single time. You see, overthinking is basically sending you into the future or the past. So you must stay present every single time. Na kama hawaelewi Kizungu, mwambie kwa Kiswahili, mama, hata kwa kilugha yenu. Mama. Don't make me speak Kinyore here. Just tell her in the language that you understand, that she understands. And if she doesn't understand any further, don't even bother to stress yourself. The moment you face her and you say these words to her in a language that you actually think is the best language, you're good to go. You don't need her to understand you. No. You need to pass the message to her. And realize this, some of them will pretend not to understand you because they still want to play the victim, so that they continue controlling you. Okay? So you must be very vigilant on this. And don't go there and start stories. And also don't go there in a hurry. Because some of you will go there and say, hey, I'm sorry. Like, mother is looking at you and, hey, what is happening this time? Yeah, it's only Dr. Lewis who is allowed to speak faster. You others. No, Uncle Chile is the only one who is allowed to speak faster. You others, be slow. Go and be slow. Tell her, you know what? I have realized along the way, I've been resenting you for no good reason. And inside me, I am tired of resenting you. I apologize. I'm sorry. All right? Don't go and ask her for forgiveness. No. Human beings cannot forgive you. It's God who forgives. What you're doing is you're taking her off your path of forgiveness. Because again, whether she understands you or not, God sees. The spirit of good inside you sees that you're actually pushing yourself to do this, to get the light. So the light shall shine your path. Just go face her and tell her, you know what? I apologize for resenting you for no good reason. Period. Go face your father and tell him, because of your weaknesses, I realize I've been resenting you for no good reason, and I apologize. Now you reconnect with the source. Now you get your revelations. Through that identity that you get from your parents, the spirit of good shall reveal things to you on how to live life. So you will not ask us if you have to marry. You will not ask us if marriage is for everybody. You will not ask us for any advice, because you will always rely on the revelations that are coming from within. You will not plan for the future. You will stay present. You will not think about the past, because it's not there. You will not be a prisoner to your past and a prisoner to the future that is not there. You will always stay present. And the moment you stay present, everything just aligns to you. Now, the beauty about that is, this new identity that you have will protect you from the evil spirit. Because remember, everyone around you, including your mama, is an evil person. Including your papa. They are very evil. They have not just exercised it on you because you're constantly agreeing with them. The day you disagree with your parents, you will realize that they did not love you. How can they love you when they don't have love? Thank you so much, Kekeli, Team Kekeli, for the gifts. Remember to like the live, okay? So how can they love you when they had anger? A heart that has anger cannot have love. If you have anger inside you, you will never have love. Until you overcome anger, that's the only way you'll have love, and you'll pass that love to your wife and to your children. And if you're a woman, that's how you'll pass that love to your children. Meaning we are living other people's purposes, not even purposes, because if you look at it deeply, you realize purpose is basically serving God. And most people are not serving God. They are living in their hell, right? So they don't have a purpose. Their purpose is to live in hell. So you're not living their purpose. You're basically trying to become them. You're basically trying to identify with them. So you don't have an identity. So therefore, anything that they share, you want to associate with it. You want to identify with it. Because of the emptiness inside you. And that emptiness, that void inside us, is brought about by a weaknesses in a father or an absence of a father. Patrick Mwangi, I'm 22 and my dad is forcing me to go to another church because he changed his. You see that? Just listen to that. Imagine your father forcing you to go to a church. So your father is trying to... It's the same way when I was growing up. I like giving you this story so that you can actually see what I mean. When I was growing up, my mother, sometimes they could have an argument with the neighbor. And apparently, that neighbor is where we sourced our milk. All right? So, so because of payment issues, there have been a problem. So now they have this tension between her and the neighbor. And now she knows, because she actually made it clear in front of you that they argued. You know how parents do? Sometimes your parents can argue with another person when you're just there in front of you. All right? So now they have a beef. So now Jirani and my mother have this beef, a small beef because of payments of milk. But realize it's not even my mother who is paying for that milk. It's my father who is paying for that milk. So my father has already paid now. So now the beef, my father and the neighbor have no beef because he has done his part. Now the beef is between my mother and the neighbor. And because I was part of that, because I was there witnessing them trying to argue, my mother chooses me and sends me to take the milk. Now I'm wondering, Sasa, how will I go and pick this milk? Like, you guys argued in front of me, and I actually took sides of my mother because I can't take a side of a neighbor. I had to take sides because if I don't, it will be part of the 9 mistakes that ile makosa inachanganywa ile 9. So now I have to pick her side, okay? Now I pick her side, and then instead of her just fixing her problems and going to take the milk, she sends me. She says, hey, Lewis, utaendea maziwa. And you know her word is final. Her word is final. So now I have to actually start thinking in my head. Now, how am I going to face my neighbor? You see, now that overthinking is coming in as a result of my mother's remodeling. Because if I knew better, I would just go and pick the milk. Whether they argued or not, I simply go and pick the milk. But now I'm in my thoughts, I'm in my head. I'm thinking, so how will I go and pick this milk? These guys argued. Maybe the neighbor will talk bad to me. Maybe they will whip me up. So I'm thinking, but you know you can't argue with your mother. Because the eye that you will receive is enough to tell you, hey, Kijana, I am the one who gave birth to you. I can slaughter you and give birth to another one. So now I have to go and just find a way to just go and bring that milk anyway. Mama. Please, get us out of this nonsense. This is the same nonsense that happens when the mother and the father have an argument. Now children are involved now. How am I part of your argument? You guys, when you met, I was not there. And possibly, I came in not because you wanted a child. You were having fun and oops, I'm here. A bouncing baby boy. So you pretend to love me so much when you guys did not want me. You guys were having fun and poop, by mistake I just came in. And because you're married, you can't kick me out through an abortion. So now I have to and my dad was not that stable. Now your dad is looking at you and thinking, why did you come to make more problems here? But he's the one who ejaculated. And he was under control of your mother because your mother told him, hey, no way, hapa kuna kuvaa hiyo condom. No, I am safe. And your dad decided, oh, you're safe, let me fuliza. Your dad is like, this is the time for us to fuliza it full time. And then after the fulizering, he's like, hiya. After 1 month, your mother is looking at him saying, you know, this month I've not seen my period. He's like, zilienda wapi? Hey, wewe. So most of you, Your fathers were not looking for a son or a daughter. No. Let them not lie to you that you are a princess. They were not looking for a princess. They were having fun. And then, oops, you came. So now we have to pretend, oh, princess, oh, princess. No wonder we've named you all these nonsense names, Babuji. Boy. Nowadays we combine names and we come out with very useless names and we put it on children. The children are now confused. When a child tells you her name or his name, you're thinking, is this name man or woman? And then when you ask these children, what is your gender? They're like, no, I'm gender fluid. What is fluidity in gender? Now gender is water. Things that... How can you not afford depression? How can you not afford depression? You will, because you identify with anything. Imagine that argument. Now your father and your mother are having an argument and they choose to separate. When they were arguing, they didn't have you in mind. That's why they argued and chose to settle for their own egos and separate. So now you are paying for what they had. This argument here has nothing to do with us. What is your take on campus relationships? First things first. Which relationships? You mean sex? Let's be honest. You mean sex? The campus sex, or you mean which relationships in campus? Campus where you have this one woman, you break up with this woman now, and in the next 5 minutes, you are laying another one. You're converting every woman in campus to become a slut so that they serve the inadequacy inside you. There's no relationships in campus. It is not a dating camp. No. Campus is a school. It's not a dating camp. But campuses are sex dens nowadays. Sex dens. Let me give you a story about campus. So, you see, in those the hostels that that our parents used to think, hey, these are the best hostels because they are within the campus, so they are safe, and my son will not have problems. Let me tell you a secret. In one cubicle, there are 4 beds, right? Maybe 4 or 2 beds, depending on how much you can pay. And these 2 beds are 2 in terms of double deckers, okay? So we have 2 beds and 2 beds, so those are 4. Now, we cannot leave that room when a guy has brought the girlfriend and they want to have sex overnight. So your daughters, who are actually being converted into sluts by these weak males in campus. So you see, when let's say I'm the one who sleeps on the upper bed, all right? Now I'll have to agree with the guy who sleeps on the lower bed and tell him, you know what, Jerry is coming through, or Anita is coming. So, you know, guys, so what do? Please, lend me your bed sheet. Yeah, there are those guys in those hostels that had these very good bed sheets. Some of us with bed sheets. These guys who had these bed sheets and they preserve them so that when a new girl comes in, they wanatandika kitanda ikae vizuri, because we were so weak that everything we did was to impress the women. Then the women punish that weakness. Then we complain, oh, hey, he's a gold digger. It's no gold digger. You're punished for being weak. So now, hii kitanda ya chini, that's the gold mine, okay? The mechi, it will happen upper chini. Yeah, so those of you who have girls and sons in campus, this is what is happening there. Don't ask me how I know. So now you take that bed sheet and you tie. You see that lower bed? So you tie the bed sheet on the upper bed. And then you drop the bed sheet, right? So it covers the entire bed, the back part and the... All right, now you are on the wall and the bed sheet is covering. Here? Yeah? So we have one room with 4 men and 1 woman. No, 1 girl, 1 lady. So this guy is busy. That's how some people ended up getting into masturbation. Because how can you as a man, this guy is busy converting this daughter of yours into a slut. Here, and I am up here. I'm like, yeah. I had some Nivea somewhere. Where is Nivea? Nivea. Yeah. So that is how some of your sons were introduced to masturbation. They went into campus with the Bible in their armpits. These are the CU chairmen from YCS in high school, now into CU. But now, some way, somehow, they are combined with this guy who is the only one who brings women. There's this guy who is so good with women. He has these very beautiful lies. And women tend to fall for these lies every time. So this guy comes and injects these lies in women. Women are like, yeah. Where have you been all my life? All my 19 years, where have you been? Yeah, your daughter, hey, oh, Igwe. Your daughter is willing to break another girl's neck for this guy who is lying to her and converting her into a slut. Oh, she doesn't have an identity. There's no father figure at home. And the mother was angry. Or there's a weak father and the mother is angry. So she ended up converting this daughter into a weakness. Now, this daughter can identify with anything that looks like a father figure. So anybody who buys her chips and chicken, hey! Anybody who holds her hand and walks with her and shows her these tall buildings, hey! Your daughter is like, I can disrespect my father for you. Yeah? Now she's even the one who is helping this guy to tie that bedsheet. Have you ever seen sheep taking itself into a slaughterhouse? Well. So she's helping this guy to tie that bedsheet. Hey, little does she know what is going to happen. So you're telling me these are the relationships you're talking about in campus. And you drop this one, and in the same cubicle in the ladies' hostel, you go and pick her roommate. Sometimes you go into that room and you have a threesome in that room. You're calling that this is now campus relationship, which in fact you label it campus relationships, which basically means there's no relationship. That's why you attach the word campus, because you know what happens there. Hey, in Roysambu, a lot of your daughters around USIU and all those sites, they're being messed up so badly. So these guys are using your daughter very badly. Your daughter is very innocent. Maybe she has now this Niger boyfriend and she wants to prove a point. She wants to show this Niger boyfriend, you know what, I can keep you, and the only way I can keep you is by giving you this organ. So women use sex to bait the man. And then this guy puts on a condom and then applies some powder of cocaine at the tip of the condom. And then have sex with your daughter. And then through that, your daughter becomes an addict to cocaine. And she thinks it's all about the sex. Oh, you walk into somewhere and you'll see those sex dens and you'll wonder. At your sex parties, everybody has to come with a muzinga. You've seen them being advertised online, right? And your daughters are signing in for these things. Who are these girls that you see in massaging men and giving them happy endings? Who are these girls? You've seen mothers there doing that, unless they are single mothers, but they have kept themselves a little bit better because men don't want that. Men want a woman who will put on a mini dress with no stretch marks and now just step on his back with high heels to get the thrill and then give a happy ending. Your daughters. You guys are thinking, now my daughter is a sex addict. She's not. She was probably introduced to cocaine without even knowing. So now, right now, it is so scary to have a child in campus. It is so scary. Oh, it's so scary. Look at these 50-year-old men who are seated in government offices. You go into a government office in Nairobi, this guy comes in an office at 5, right? Leaves home and comes to the office at 5. Does his work for 2 hours. By 7, he's closed the office and is out. He has gone to either Ruai or Ruaka, where they've rented these houses for these young girls who don't have an identity, who don't have father figures in their homes. They've rented houses there and they've furnished them and they've put these girls there. Now this guy uses, this old man uses this girl to satisfy his sexual thrills. So this guy goes there from 7 all the way to 5 in the evening. He's there just being, these girls are licking his toes. Like, they call it rich people problems. Where? And you have a daughter in campus. She's licking a 70-year-old man's toes for a sexual thrill. Look at them in Kilimani. They're being pooped in the mouth. Why? Because there's no fathers in the homes. So these daughters identify with anything. They get the money, but they're still very lonely. They have bought these good cars. They drive these cars, but inside those cars, they have scars. Cars with scars. So imagine how a 70-year-old man can actually get attracted to a 19-year-old girl. Imagine that. This is a man who can actually rape the daughter. This is a man who, you've seen these things happening, right? It's not like I'm saying things that are in the skies. These are realities. How many men are having sex with their daughters? How many? And even comparing the sex of their daughter with their mother. And they shame their mothers, telling their mothers, you know what, your daughter is sweeter than you. How many of you? How many women are having sex with their cousins? Eh? Eh? You're looking at your cousin, you're like, hey, this guy, possibly your cousin, has gone to the gym and built some muscles. You're looking at him, and in your head, these are just thoughts running into your head. You're just like, if I had the confidence to just tell him. Eh? How many of you? You're looking at your friend's husband, you're like, if this one just coughs, I'm gone. Like, Mimi, I who you, please, don't ever cough in this office, because if you cough, Nyasai, protect me from his cough. And then you go to church and you're the first one to go on the knees. When the pastor says, let's pray now, take 5 minutes to talk to your God. You're the first one to, you've sunk in the spirit, gone on your knees, and you're Chandrakaya Mosiah. You. How many imams are teaching people hatred and how to kill people? How many sheikhs are sex trafficking girls? How many? These sides, they look so serious. They teach the gospel. They teach the word, the spiritual word of God. And then the other side, they are looking at the congregation just thinking, and ladies, you people dress so well on Sundays than you dress for your husbands the whole year. You have Sunday best clothes. And you put on that community cloth dress of yours, you're seated in the front bench, and you're crossing your legs, and your pastor is preaching. As he's preaching, he's seeing that side of the thigh. He's like, the Spirit of God has to get into that one. The Spirit of God has to get into this one. And the only way the Spirit has to get into you, ladies, please come to church without panties. You've seen that? And you say, oh, hallelujah. Pastor has said we can't go with anything underneath. We have to go that way so that the Spirit gets direct access. And their churches are so filled. How many of you saw what happened to, was it Prophet Kanyari? Famously now on TikTok. The expose is there, but you go to church and the people are there waiting for him. Actually, people are coming to take him out. Say, you know what? No way. The devil will always confuse you through your own thoughts. So actually, you are the devil. So that thing that you're calling the devil is actually your thoughts. It's your thoughts. So how do I deal with my dad? You don't have to deal with anybody. You're not here to deal with anybody. If there's somebody to deal with, is you. Why do you want to deal with your father? Why do you want to deal with your mother? There's no dealing with anybody. It is just you. So Patrick, don't deal with your dad. And how do I deal with my dad? Because he plans on forcing us to go to that church this Sunday. Even if I try explaining, I'm not interested, he uses anger as a mask that we are disrespectful. I understand that, sir, but don't deal with your father. Understand that your father is doing this from a fallen state, so you can't judge him. All right? And now, the bigger question in the room is, how old are you? Patrick, how old are you? If you're above 18 and your father has actually done his job, taken you to school, and you're done with school, what are you still doing there? It's a sign that your father is telling you, please, zizi moja, fahali wawili hawezi kaa hapo. Get out. Get out and be a man. Get out. You don't have to be there and submit to his principles. You are a man. You can lead and you can start your life. At 18, you can. You're just afraid of what is going to come out of that. Now you have to submit to him. And when he says left, you go left. When he controls you to go right, you go right. Next time he'll tell you to kill, your daughter, and you'll do it without asking questions. Move out and start a life of your own. He claims to send us away if we don't follow him. Please, the earlier he does that, the better. Let him send you away so that you can actually learn a lesson on your own and start life on your own. 18 is still children, Doc. Yes, that's the problem. You see an 18-year-old child, an 18-year-old, that's a grown-up because he has an ID, and you call him a child. This guy, Yukes, this guy will get to 30, he'll still be a child. That's why they say a man is always a child to the mother. You don't want these children to grow up. You want to hold tight to them because you love controlling them. Drop the attachment between you and the children and let them just experiment life on their own. At 18, he can be in school, campus, doing his own things, living on his own. Why do you want to hold on to an 18-year-old? Same principle that women and men are having sex with children who are 7 years and they're thinking these are children. Your son is 7 years and you're having sex in the next room and you think he's not getting it. You're kissing before your children. And you're thinking, oh, these are children. They're thinking this is love. They don't understand kissing. Now the same child is going to kiss somebody else. And then now you, in your evil nature, you're going to come after this guy. Oh, hey, this is a child. But that's just anger in you that is coming out. It has nothing to do with this guy. You are the weakness. You taught your child how to do these things. Now you're unable to look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, you know what? This is actually an exact image of myself. Stop holding on to those children. Children are not raised by emotions. They're supposed to get a role model in a father. If there's no father, there's no role model. Now they become emotional. Don't hold on to your children. And men, specifically men, don't hold on to those children at all, because you'll be punished by these women. You hold on to that child and you have your weaknesses, because once you hold on to that child, you've shown emotions. So basically that's a marriage between two women. Now this woman does not like that. She resents that and then converts your children to be away from you. You'll be punished with those emotions. Oh, after all I have done for you, after all you've done for who? Grace Njoroge, very good advice. Just leave. Do not wait to be sent away. You see, it will hurt. And it has to hurt. Okay? It has to hurt, because in that hurting, you'll find solutions. You will find solutions. I saw somebody requesting to be a guest. It's time for us to have a conversation with people as we get to the end of this conversation. Amazing. Good. You can request to be a guest so that we can actually roll this conversation. It's amazing to just talk to people. True. Those kids know a lot. As a teacher, they tell us a lot. Age 8 wanajua mengi. So you can imagine. And these parents are assuming these children they know nothing. At all they are sleeping. Now you touch your husband's shoulder because you are ovulating. You touch his shoulder. Babe, unajua babji amelala. Babji is busy peeping into the keyhole in the yeah, in that darkness, Babji is peeping in the keyhole. Don't assume these are children. Don't assume. They see and they imitate. Okay? I'm following you. My blood pressure is going down significantly. Amazing. We wish you well. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, some of these things we say. This is not a channel for children. It's a channel for adults. And this is not a channel for gossip. You can simply scroll up and keep moving. Go to the next one. This is not a gossip channel. Here we whip you hard. We must make sure that you get it. Oh, Dr. Lewis, sometimes when you come to Uncle Chile, you're very tough. I'm like, yes, I have to just call out the demon inside you. I'm not tough. I'm calling out the demon inside you. Why do people care? Nobody cares. Good question. Nobody cares. It's in your thoughts. You're thinking they care. They don't. Nobody cares. Why would you care? Imagine I don't care about myself. That's why I have anger. Why would I even care about you? Care is coming from a sense of ego. When somebody tells you, I care about you, this is telling you, you know what, I have a lot of ego. And I'm looking at you as the one who is so weak. So I have to actually extend my ego to you. Don't ever believe that nonsense. It's the same way people telling you I love you. Why would you tell me? Why don't you just do it? I'll see it. There's no care. It's a false identity. And you realize a lot of people, they love the idea of conquering. They love the idea of dropping the anger. but they just don't want to. That's the sad part. A lot of people love the idea of getting an identity. They love it. When you talk about it here, oh, they love it. They want it so badly, but they just can't do it. That's why I tell you, most people love living in their own hell. So why would you even care about them? Just let them suffer in that hell. To conquer the world, you must start by conquering your thoughts and your emotions, your feelings. For you to conquer that world that you're thinking, for you to conquer whatever is around you, you must start by conquering your thoughts and your feelings. You can't conquer anything. You can't care about anything if you don't care about yourself. Yes, this is who?
Yes, sir.
This is Mushi Foods. Is it Mushi or Musi?
Hi, Dr.
Hello, how are you?
My name is Sarah.
Oh, your name is Sarah.
Yes, I just had my nephew ask you a question. His name is Patrick.
Yes, Patrick Mwangi.
Now he was asking about his dad telling him that he needs to join the church that the dad is going.
Which platform are you watching? Sarah,
the
Sarah,
church that the dad.
Sarah, I can hear a lot of echo. Are you watching at the same time responding? Kindly, if you're watching us on a TV or something, mute it and then you can have a conversation with us.
No, I'm not watching anywhere else.
All right, continue. You're saying?
Yes, I heard him ask about the whole question about why would he join dad's church, yet the dad... it's the story about the church, eh?
Yes.
The church that they were going before, it wasn't as good. It looked... Sorry that I'm spilling off this.
No.
And maybe he's watching. But the church was kind of a cult.
What do you mean?
Because the dad was kept away from the family members completely by that church. He was told never to talk to his people, never to help his people. Okay, it is not okay. Anyway, it is his money, his resources. He's not even supposed to share with people. But to some extent, he used not to talk to people. He used not to talk to the relatives. He used not to talk to the mother. He used not to talk to the dad. Like he said, he's following the Malaika way, and he listens to the angels. What the angels are saying, he does not listen to any other person.
And who are these angels?
The dad has seen the light.
And who are these angels?
The dad left the church. I do not know. Maybe Patrick will explain further. I hope he requests and answers such question.
Well, I would love that because I don't understand where angels are. I don't know. So Patrick's father was in so-called a cult, as you put it, right?
Yeah, I think I also have a problem with the network. Though I hope he requests. Patrick, if you can hear me, kindly request and explain further, because the question it's halfway. You need to explain further why you're feeling like you're being forced to go to another church, yet you don't want to leave the other church. So we completely know that this church wasn't good for your parents and for your dad. And would you just leave it completely and start all over again and stop following people? Just follow your heart.
So, Sarah, to you, what is a good church?
It's your heart. It is your heart. You connect with your God through how you communicate with your God at heart. You don't follow people. You don't follow anyone.
So if that's true, why is Patrick's father forcing him into another church?
I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. I completely don't know why they I don't know. I was trying. In fact, I'm the one who sent him here. I sent him the link. I told him to keep on listening to you. He'll learn a lot.
Well, this story can get interesting. I hope that Patrick can actually come on TikTok and request to be a guest, because that makes sense. I think most of the questions can be answered by Patrick, because you also in the dark, it's hard for you to answer most of these questions.
Yes, I'm in the dark, completely in the dark. He spoke to us the other day. The dad spoke to us, I think, last year from May.
Yeah.
There after, that's when he started speaking to us, but not as much. He used not to explain much. It's just mere conversation.
Okay. Patrick, if you can hear us, kindly just drop onto TikTok and just come to Health and Wellness Spot on TikTok. Request to be a guest. I'll take you in. This is a very deep conversation, and actually you can actually open your eyes so that you can start living a life that you see light through your own window. At this moment in time, I think you are under a lot of influence and you're getting confused. So I think it's only right that we shed light on your path, and if it helps you, well done. If it doesn't, I mean, you're a man, you can figure it out. Thank you so much, Sarah. Amazing. Hey, okay. There's a lot. There's a lot here. There's a lot here. If I decided to pin down Sarah, she cannot answer a lot of questions. That's why I think Patrick is the right person to come over and help us understand this, right? It is deep, but I hope he's the one who has just come in. Let me just see. It's okay. Anyway, Patrick Mwangi, if you can hear us, please. Somebody can learn from you from your story, and it can be actually very educative. Voke.
Yes.
Why the name Voke?
That's actually my short name of Kevin.
So why don't you just use Kevin?
That's how I feel comfortable with.
All right.
I feel comfortable calling my name.
No problem. How are you?
Yeah. I'm good.
How did you know you're good?
Because I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm smiling.
All right. Welcome on board, brother.
Okay. Now, question.
Okay, so I'm actually using my brother's phone.
Oh, so who is Voke?
He is my brother.
And you are?
I'm Patrick.
Okay, Patrick. Welcome on board, Patrick. Well done. Nice to have you here. You're Patrick Mwangi?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome on board, brother. We had heard a snippet of your ideas and your story through Sarah, but I think it's only right that we get this information straight from you. So take us through your story, brother.
Yeah. So basically, it's my dad was he took us to another certain church.
Yes.
When we were young, we stayed there for 8 years. And then, this year, he decided to just leave the church.
Okay.
Of which we didn't have any problem with him leaving the church, because it is his own decision
Yes.
to leave the church.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, we've stayed in that church for a long time, so we grew up there until this point. So I feel like it's my own, coming from my own will or decision.
Yes.
To choose to stay or to follow him.
Okay.
Because in the church, it was my servitude is not linked with him.
Okay.
I'm willed to be my own kind of person. So for him, it's different, because he doesn't want to accept that we are still we used to still go there. So, but now he banned us from going there.
Okay.
So now we stay at home on Sunday.
Okay. And how old are you?
So right now I'm 22.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah. So it's becoming a problem, because we just got out of the church one Sunday from now, and then the next Sunday we are going to another. You see, it doesn't make sense. and this person is not asking you, it's like telling you, it's like you're being forced into something that you don't want.
Okay.
We don't even know the church, we don't even know where it is, but it's like if you don't go, then this and this might happen, and it's like you're disrespecting me. And I feel like we are not on fair ground. We can't speak for ourselves, we can't say anything. It's not, we are not in a healthy environment anymore.
Okay.
It basically just, we have accepted that he moved on, and we have no problem with that. But like, he just can't seem to like and want us to like just do our thing. Just if we can't go to that church that we used to go to, then we have to stay home and then like basically just find ourselves, find what is good for us. And even finding what is good for us is becoming a problem because he's now forcing us into another. And that doesn't align, even in common sense, it doesn't work.
Okay. So by us, you mean you and who else?
Me and my bro.
Okay. Now, so you still live under your father's roof?
Yeah, we do.
Are you guys in campus or are you done with school?
We're still in campus.
All right. And were you guys raised by both parents, your father and your mother?
Yeah.
All right. And your father is the one who introduced you guys to this church. The first one that he wants you to actually live again.
Yeah, like 9 years ago.
All right. So he made a choice to introduce his children to this church. And now he has come to a place and realized that that decision was not the right one. And now he has opted out. And now he wants you to opt out again.
Exactly.
So how do you trust that his second decision is actually the right one if the first one was the wrong one?
We don't.
Exactly. Now, this is the point, brother. You are 22. You guys, how old is your brother?
He's 24.
All right. You see now, the problem is, so when you stay at home, what happens? What will happen now? If you decide, no, we're not going to aid the church, because now, we might stay in the other one for 3 months, and then you tell us again to move to another one. So if you stay at home, what will happen?
Nothing.
So why don't you stay at home?
Stay.
Why don't you stay at home? Because God is not in the church.
Like, it's being like it's forceful. Like it's you either do or just it's forceful. Like I don't know.
Okay, and did when you say forceful, you mean you have to go to that church that is actually asking you, or you don't go to the other church? Because there are two options here: that you drop the other church and go to this one that is telling you, or you simply stay home. So the safer options here is to stay home. Why? Because your father is still the one who is actually paying for your school fees and basically your upkeep, right?
So the thing is,
Yeah.
like we dropped the other church because he told us to drop it, and we dropped it.
Okay.
So we started staying at home like 2 Sundays, and then the third Sunday now we are being told to attend the other one.
Okay.
The new one, you understand?
Yeah,
so
I do.
we are like, we talked about it, and it was like, okay, it's not bad that we see it's a good intention to like direct us into a church, but like we feel like it's good for us to stay at home for now and really get to understand what is happening with us, and then now we feel like we are going to come mediation yetu.
Yeah.
So now the following Sunday, the following week, it was like, now you must go.
Okay.
And I was like, we just had a conversation the previous week about the going to church thing, and it was like, he said, I'm not going to force anyone to go to another church. So how does it come to you must go the next week? You see?
Yeah. And what is the reason why? What is the reason why your father dropped this church, the one that he actually believed in the first place?
Okay, so that's his own idea, because he was just okay. One day we just talked to him, and it was like, I'm just getting out of the church.
Okay. So he simply woke up. So he woke up one day and was like, you know, this decision that I made was the wrong one. Now we have to drop this church and change the church, right?
That decision was it was cooking. So
Okay.
you can see he was like thinking about something, because my mother passed on, and now he's remarried.
Oh yeah.
Of which we had no problem with it. We accepted the lady. It was okay. Everything was just cool. So now things are just escalating in a very different way, and everything is just different.
And this lady goes to which church?
She used to attend that church.
Which one?
My dad is like telling us
Oh,
the new one that we introduced to.
Okay. Now, bro, there's a lot here, and you have to stand up for yourselves. How is she involved in this story?
With the story of like how a home is running, about the new introduction of the lady, the new mom.
Yeah.
So we talked to her, and we were like, she asked on how we're going, how we're doing things, is everything okay? Just checking in, and when we are overwhelmed with a lot of stuff, we usually just talk to her, and she's actually very helpful.
Okay.
So her concern is that we are in a situation of church to church. It's like a church fight, you understand? But like the thing is, I feel like my dad is too religious for me. Like, it's so much about religion that everything that makes sense is cancelled out.
So Sarah is from your father's side or your mother's side?
My father's side.
Amazing. Now listen, brother, we are having a lot of problems here, okay? We are having a lot of problems here in terms of, and I'll tell you how it is. However you want to take it or however you want to feel about it, I'm going to whip you hard so that you can actually see the sense. And I hope you can actually take that advice and become a better man. Now, one, you guys are old enough to be men, right? The only problem here is you're still in campus, and your father is actually taking that advantage because he's the one who is actually paying the bills here, so he can flex his muscles a little bit. Now, you guys, you are 22, and 22 is a very good year to actually start making those mistakes so that you can actually rectify them as early as possible before the rain starts hitting you harder. One, a father is not supposed to remarry another woman when you guys are still there. He should have played this part that you guys go and become independent on your own. Now when he remains alone, he can do whatever he wants to do. But the reason why there's this tension here, one, there was a weak father. It's so evident because he's the one who is supposed to teach you things, but now he's making all the wrong decisions. He's thinking that the church is the problem. So he's hopping from one church to another, forgetting that the only constant factor here is him and the spirit that is inside him. So it's not about the church, it's about him as a person. And he can hop about 10 churches, but he'll still be the same constant person in these churches. So the problem is not the church, the problem is him. Because he understands or he thinks that actually God is in a building. God is within you. And you guys were born with God. So therefore, you're not going to look for God in a church or in a Bible or in the scripture. God is within you because the scripture is actually inside you. And the kingdom is inside your hearts, guys. So I want you to do this. One, because right now you guys are starting to resent your father for no good reason. You must face him and overcome him. You must face him and tell him, you know what? We've realized that there's a lot of tension building up, and along the way we're starting to resent you, and we don't want to do that. So we apologize. Now, once you say that, anything that will happen to you will be a revelation to you. So you'll not have to ask any advice from anybody, because you see, you have to connect with the source, and apparently he is the source. Whether he has his own faults or not, you have to drop your ego and face him and apologize so that you overcome his weaknesses. If you don't, now you're resenting him, you'll become just like him. You will now mistreat your children. Because you see, the real thing here is, his weakness is coming in as a result of him chasing an ejaculation. That's why he ended up remarrying. Does that other woman have a child? They have a child already?
Yeah.
So you guys are resenting your father because he brought in somebody else. Instead of giving you attention, he decided to bring in somebody else. And that actually took the attention from you guys to this new woman. That's how men behave. And now you guys are suffering from that resentment. So the only best thing, the only starting place you can do is to go and face your father and overcome his weaknesses. Now, number two, Stop paying attention to what your father is doing so much. I would have actually opted for you to stay home and ignore going to the church. But if you're wise, because of the tension that will come in, because your father is still in the fallen state, and you guys are trying to see light, the only thing you can do, guys, is you leave that home. You guys are 22. What is wrong with you guys requesting to actually live outside? What is wrong with that?
Nothing.
Because there's a lot of tension building in, and you guys are staying in the same house with somebody who is not your mother. A stepmother is not a mother. And there'll be a lot of resentment coming in. All right? There'll be a lot of resentment. And you guys, now wait until that child of that woman grows up. There'll be a lot of tension between you guys. So the earlier the better. Once you forgive and you overcome his identity, which is his weaknesses, you guys shall have light. You shall see actually light in your own window. So you will not rely on your father for anything. Now you request him, you know what? Because we are now grown-ups, we need to do something different. We request to actually live outside, and you can live, the two of you. We request to live outside and do some things that can actually make sure we are actually growing up to be men. Because at 22, staying with your father, you don't have any option. You will be under his control. And now realize there's another voice that is coming through his ears from the other woman. So it will be chaos. And I'm telling you this for free. So once you overcome him, face him. All of you, face him and tell him, you know what? We apologize for resenting you for no good reason. That is step number one. Step number two, understand that God is not in a building. God is in your heart. Therefore, you guys have God. But all of you are still weak because you're looking for God in a church. You're thinking that the church can actually come in to solve your problems. It can't. So stop listening to people and listen to yourself. And the only way to listen to yourself is to overcome the identity of your fathers. After that, request your father for some resources to actually make sure that you guys can actually move out. The earlier the better. Once you move out, it becomes easier for you to actually face life on your own. At this moment in time, you're facing life through the window of your father. It doesn't make sense. You see that? And actually you're in campus. So that means you can use that avenue to actually tell him, you know what? You'd rather even stay in a hostel in school than stay here as a prisoner and you obey another man. You're not supposed to obey your father. You're supposed to obey, not basically obey. You're not supposed to submit to your father as such. You're supposed to actually submit to God's will. And God is within you. And now that you see there's a weakness already in your father, that tells you there's no God in that family. So you guys have to seek your own identities from him and then move out. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Is it difficult for you guys to actually request to be out? Because this tension can actually bring a lot of problems. And you see, the more the tension, the more you'll resent your father, the more you'll become just like him. The more you'll start hurting people around you. All right? So I want you to stop listening to anything. You don't need any help from Auntie Sarah. You don't need any help from your father. The only thing you need is facilitation to move out. And then your father has to pay school fees anyway because it's his responsibility. He has to pay that school fees. So you request to actually have some funds to move out, settle. You'd rather start with a mattress on the floor, but start facing life at 22 on your own. This guy is living his life fully, and you guys are submitting to that will, and you will suffer, bro. You will suffer until you decide, you know what, you have to man up. At some point, you'll have to grow up. And growing up means overcome your father, get your own identity, move out, go start a life of your own, face challenges of life as you move on, and make it a daily thing. Focus on the present. Don't think about the future, don't think about the past. Focus on the present and be better in the present. If you have laptops, you guys know you are in a very good age that is very vibrant, and every information is up to your feet. So you can actually change your life for the better without having to rely on your father for everything. And you can imagine a father is not supposed to push the children into his own beliefs. He's supposed to be there to just monitor your growth and encourage you, and he's supposed to be a role model. Now he's trying to force you into things that are making you guys resent him. So please, face him, the earlier the better. Face him and tell him that we've reached a point there where we're seeing there's a lot of tension, and we really apologize for resenting you because of all that. However, we would like you to facilitate us, if you can actually be interested in this, facilitate us to have our own house or our own room. We start life from there and just grow into it. We will appreciate that. If he refuses, now you can start fixing things from there, but you will already have an identity because utakosha muomba msamaha. So you'll have an identity. So everything will be revealed to you as the days come in, and you will simply do what is coming through that revelation. You will not rely on other people to advise you. You see that? But if he allows it, the better. You simply walk out as soon as possible, go put your mattress on the floor and start life. It shall be difficult in the beginning, but as you grow into it, you will understand and you become a man. That's how it happens. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Do you have a question for me?
No, actually, I do appreciate a lot this, Kevin,
Yeah.
because there's been a lot of tension, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, seeing things go wrong, and you don't have the confidence to talk because there is another sound, you know, like he's listening to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, the situation is very confusing, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, like, due to him forcing us to go to church, now we have to wake up on, you know, very early in the morning and look for somewhere to go at least. Because I actually asked him a question, yeah?
Yeah.
If, like, we have stayed in one church for around 8 years.
Yeah.
Now you're taking us within a short period of time that you have actually moved on from another. How can you trust? How do you trust now the other pastor, the so-called pastor that you're taking us to?
Yeah.
The situation is already confusing. We are still young, and these things, like, they are super overwhelming, by the way.
Yeah.
We cannot take it anymore.
I understand that.
It's crazy.
Kevin, ideally, your father is supposed to be your pastor. Did you know that? That your father is supposed to be your pastor? Yeah. So you can imagine now, you rely on your father for all these things. You rely on your father to actually guide you into the godly ways, and he's now relying on another man. So he's not showing the role model in him. He's actually telling you that that the pastor is more of a role model than he is. So he's handing over his leadership to the pastor, which is a wrong idea, which shows his weaknesses.
Yeah.
You see that? And now, when he's doing that, you guys have no role model. Now you start resenting him because that's a weakness he's showing. So when that happens, it means it's time for you guys to just say, you know what, I know what is best for me, because actually you can get revelations from your own identity. But you see, you cannot get those revelations before getting the identity. So you have to pick your identity from your father by apologizing to him for resenting him for no good reason. Once you do that, now you can actually find a revelation of what to do next. But the best option at this moment in time, in this fallen state, as you're still working on yourself, is you can actually catch yourself getting angry at him and resenting him. So once you catch yourself, you know, now I have to do what? I have to move out. Go and settle out and start becoming a man. And as I do that, I have to find my identity from him. Whichever way, you have to move out anyway.
Okay, that was very helpful, by the way.
Amazing, amazing.
At least the situation is a little bit calm now.
Oh man, I wish you well. I wish you well. You guys are men, right? You are men, and you need to start believing that your life does not depend on your father as such. No, he has to do his responsibility by actually making sure you guys are educated. But that does not mean he has to strip off common sense from your heads. So common sense dictates that you get an identity from him and then move out and become men. All right?
Yes.
Yeah. So go do that, and I wish you well. I highly recommend you do that.
Okay.
Amazing, amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I wish you well, brothers.
Thank you.
Oh man, let me tell you. This is a very good, interesting story. Oh, let me tell you. You see, most men are dick-driven. We are driven by the penis. A man has two heads. When one head starts thinking, the other one stops thinking completely. You would rather prefer this one. Oh, the other one starts thinking and you lose it totally. Because a man, bro, you can get sex anywhere as a man. You don't have to marry to get sex. No, that's the point. That's the reality check. But you see, when you have children, and then the mother passes on, or even separate with the mother, the worst thing you can do is to remarry. Men here, please, the worst thing you can do is to remarry. Why? Because all your attention, men can only give attention to one thing at a time. The moment you remarry, all your attention goes to the new woman. Now, women are very manipulative because they know. And the women, please, hey, let me make it easy. Let me make it even easier for you. Women don't like a relationship between children and their fathers. Now, this one they will not agree, but it's the truth. Thank you so much, Kate. Women hate a perfect relationship or the attention that is coming from the father to the children for a reason. It is not them who hate that. It's the spirit that lives in them that actually resents that attachment. So when that happens, you guys will suffer. Why? Because this woman will do anything to get that attention. This woman will do anything to get that attention. And when she does that, all the attention will be drifted from you to this new woman. And now you see, Most women are very, very good at doing this. She'll get married to this guy. She knows this guy has children, and she knows that this is the center of this man. So what do? We must destabilize that to earn this position. And the first thing they'll do is getting pregnant for that man. Oh, quick, fast, get pregnant. Bah! And now the demand comes in because weak men are so much under, they are so easy to control and manipulate. Now everything will be unaona mtoto wewe hata ushughulikie mtoto. Oh, you would have told me that you loved your children more than you loved me. I would not have made this decision to come here and give you children. You told me you'll take care of me and all that. Now all the noises start. So now because of our weaknesses, we cannot tell this one, you know what, hey, you came in and found these ones here. That weakness will make us now serve this woman. So this woman becomes our God. And when a woman becomes a man's God, there is no love, there is no God in that family. Now manipulation is there. And now the weird part is this woman will resent this man again. So it will be chaos. That's how you see sons sleeping with their stepmothers as a way of this woman trying to punish the weaknesses of this man. So it is so wrong for a man to get remarried when you have children. You would rather take these children to school and make them get identities and make them be satisfied and independent. When they leave, now you can exercise your powers because you are home alone. But the only reason why men remarry is because of chasing and ejaculation. The reason why men marry multiple women is because of chasing and ejaculation. There's a thrill inside them. They cannot fathom that they can actually live alone. Inside they are so lonely. And we said loneliness is coming from a center of what? Emptiness. Loneliness, fear, doubt, worry, insecurities, overthinking, anxiety, depression, shyness, all these things. And that emotional love are coming from the same centers. Anger. And again, we cannot blame your father because your father has his mother in his heart. So he's still inadequate. So he was taught these things by his parents, weak parents. So he's passing this to you. He's trying to exercise a form of control to you because he's thinking, you know what, I'm the man here. So he's trying, but you see, he's not a man, he's a male. Because if he was a man, he will be the one who is teaching these sons God, not sending them to another person to teach them about God. Because our fathers knew about God, but they did not know God. God is not in a building. God is not in the Bible or the Quran. God is inside you, is in your heart already. The scripture was inside you. You were born with it. That's why you had common sense, because common sense is godly. So now the dick takes them away from that. Sex takes us away from the nature of God. And it becomes chaos. So these guys, they're suffering. They don't know. They are in the dark. So until they overcome the nature of their father, they can't know anything. They'll resent him for no good reason. And resentment is still in the fallen state. So Sarah, we appreciate you for coming through and actually sending them our way. That is amazing. However, it's also time for you to stay away from them totally. Allow them to suffer so that they know God. Okay? Yeah, so don't cling on them trying to push them to the side of the father. No, because don't pick sides. You be a neutral person. If they want advice, they'll call on to you. Give it. But do not try to model them into your own image. Just give an advice and keep moving. And don't push them to take that advice. All right? Yes, do that. Allow them to just be men and grow up to be men. Just let them learn and suffer. When they suffer, they'll call on to God. And you see, they've already called out here, because if they're calling here, it means they're actually suffering. And you can see them boiling from anger. That will destroy all of you, including you, Sarah. They will destroy you. All right? So don't allow that anger to come out. Simply help them now to overcome anger. And I'm glad that they've seen the sense. They go and overcome that spirit of anger, which is a weakness from their father. And once they do that, they'll see light in a different perspective. Now they'll rely on the revelations that the spirit of good will be guiding them. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Kevin. And that one was called who? And your brother. Let me just say that. Kevin and your brother, thank you so much for coming through. We wish you well. And we hope that once you overcome, you can actually share your story one day, if God gives us the grace to live tomorrow. Doc, please, YouTube sound occasionally producing a cracking sound. What is happening to YouTube? I don't know. Is anybody on YouTube trying to feel that? Is it the same? The sound, is it the same? Oh, Patrick and Kevin. Thank you so much for reminding that. Patrick and Kevin, we wish you well. Yes, Junior.
Yes, how are you?
All is well. How are you?
All is well.
Talk to us, brother.
So I have this struggle in silent prayer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm asking now about it now.
All right. What is your struggle with the silent prayer? What is the struggle?
Concentrating in it.
You don't have to concentrate. You simply need to focus on breathing. You see, the moment you sit down, you see there's a lot of thoughts in your head. There's a lot of chaos in your head. So those chaos are the ones that actually distract you, okay? So what you need to do during the silent prayer, in the beginning is very difficult because 10 minutes look like it's a whole day. You prayed for a whole day. But with time, it becomes very small and it becomes like a flash. So what you do is, when you wake up in the morning, before you do anything else, make sure first of all you are alert, because if you go into a silent prayer with the morning hangovers and the sleep hangovers, you might sleep along the way. We don't want you to sleep. So you do this, you wake up and become very aware, and then you simply sit upright and then just relax. You don't have to light candles or do what, no, just sit down and relax, and then focus on breathing. All right, just breathe naturally. Breathe in and breathe out. Don't even force, just breathe naturally and focus on that breath. All right, every mind, when your mind is trying to go away, bring it back to the breath. Sorry. So bring it back to the breath. Right? Now, as you do that, pay attention to what is happening in your head, the chaos. Let all the evil thoughts, let all the good thoughts come in and disappear. The mistake that most people do is when those thoughts are coming in, you will see the thought coming in and you still follow it. Now, let me give you a very good practical example in life. You see, when you're a man, and you see a very beautiful girl ahead of you, right? And then this girl is coming towards you. So you've seen everything. If she has a big behind, you'll see it from the front. So you've seen her coming. So you've analyzed her, you've seen she's beautiful, and you decided to pass her. You didn't want to talk to her because there's nothing to talk to her about. So you decided, let me pass. Now, the moment you pass, you realize, I had not confirmed. Let me just check. And then you turn to see if she has the behind. You see, this is an evil one. The second look that you're turning to confirm if she has that butt, that's the wrong one. Because you saw everything that you will have actually handled from the beginning. So if she came and you realize, this is not a package I will appreciate. What makes you think the back package, you will now appreciate the back than the front? This is everything. So their back, they can put those things that these online guys, these celebrities are putting on. So once you see this, is enough. If you pass her, if you wanted to talk to her, stop her and talk to her. If you didn't want to talk to her, keep moving and go. Don't even follow the second thought. So what people do as a mistake in a silent prayer is when the thought comes, you follow it to the latter and you come back with another thought. That's a wrong idea. Simply allow the thoughts to come and be still. Focus on the breath. Let the thought pass. Keep focusing on the breath. Let another one come and pass. Come and pass. And you do that. You start with 2 minutes. So set an alarm for 2 minutes. As you do 2 minutes perfectly for about 2-3 days or so, graduate to 3 minutes. Graduate to 4 minutes. And you start realizing, the moment you start doing the silent prayer, over 100 thoughts are coming into your head. Very useless thoughts. That is chaos. Those are ideas in your head that don't make sense. As you go ahead and do the 3 minutes, the 4 minutes, the thoughts start reducing slowly and gradually. You come to 50 thoughts, you come to 40 thoughts, you come to 20. And then it comes a time when you have 0 thoughts in your head. But then the devil comes in and tells you, you know what, imagine you don't have any thought in your head. Now you see, that's another thought. So you keep pushing yourself harder. You keep doing it. You keep concentrating on the breath until that thought disappears. At that moment in time, you will do a silent prayer for 10 minutes and it looks like it was only 1 second. You simply sit down and breathe cleanly and you're done. Simply sit down, breathe cleanly, and no thought in your head at all. That's when you realize you've actually won the war against your own thoughts. And at that moment in time, there will be no future, there will be no past. Your only thoughts will be thoughts of the present. So at this moment in time, try to catch yourself going into the future. You see that thought that tells you, oh, you know what, nafaa kuomoka. Oh, I need this, I need this. Catch that thought and lay it low. Catch that thought and lay it low. It's a beautiful thing to catch those thoughts. Because most thoughts, if any case, 99.9% of our thoughts are sending us into the future or into the past, which 2 of them are lies. You don't have the past, you don't have the future. You only have now. So anytime you see your thoughts sending into the future, bring them back here. Anytime you see your thoughts sending into the past, bring them back here. Once you do that, now you start doing the silent prayer, it becomes a smooth ride. Bro, you overcome every single thing. You start a day on a new slate, you close the day on a new slate. It's an amazing feeling. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, so keep doing it. You will fail. You will fail multiple times. But failing does not mean you've lost the battle, because you see, when you fail, it is in the past and you don't have the past, right? So you become better in the present. You see that?
Yeah, sure.
Amazing, man. Appreciate you, Junior. Thank you so much for coming through. A lot of people are struggling with the silent prayer. Even those who consider themselves as gurus of meditation, they struggle with silent prayer. Why? Because we have so many chaos in our heads, and these chaos are not ours. These chaos are put there by people. Your boss has said this, your girlfriend has said this, your mother is saying this, oh, your father wants this, oh, there's a future, nataka niomoke, oh, Forex guys are saying this, oh, this guy, doctor is saying this. All these are chaos in your head. You cannot create your own thoughts. The only true thoughts are thoughts of the present. In the present, that's the only true thought. After that present, that thought does not make sense because it's now a memory. And when it becomes a memory, the evil spirit can actually control you through that memory. It will force you to go into the past so that you judge yourself for what you did not do in the past that is making you suffer now. It will send you into the future so that you grow anxious, that you never appreciate yourself in the present. And when you fail appreciating yourself in the present, you will never be stable emotionally. You will always be anxious, you will always be depressed. You see that? Anxiety, depression. You will never appreciate yourself in the present. You will always think that you are inadequate. You will always think that something from outside has to come in to make you complete. You will think it's money. You get money, you're still empty. You will think it's a wife. You get a wife, it's a problem. You will think it's children. This wife gives you children, these children become a problem to you, you're still empty. You think it's a car. You buy the best car. You've seated in that car, you're wondering, how will I pay the loan that I used to buy this car? You're still lonely. You'll be loved, emotional love by people around you, but you'll still be lonely. You'll be in a group of people having fun, but when you settle down alone, you are very empty. So you'll always be trying to seek for these groups of validation, which means you're identifying with anything that is coming your way. That is emptiness. And that emptiness has to come from a center of absence of a father or a weak father. When a father is absent or when your father is weak, you have that void inside you longing for a father. That void cannot be filled by anything from outside. You must forgive your mother to overcome her weaknesses or her anger. You must forgive your father to overcome his weaknesses. And when you do that, you reconnect with the source, the void disappears. Now you can have thoughts of your own. Now the silent prayer becomes easier. So the first thing to do is to actually seek your identity from your parents, and then now you follow up with the silent prayer. Amazing. Uncle Chile is the platform on YouTube. If you are there, kindly like the live. And we're almost calling it a night. I hope there's somebody who can actually request to be in for the last person. We can call it a night. If there's no one, we can actually end the live. All right. Thank you so much. I hope this impacts you positively. Even if it does, don't consider it positive. Just go for the impact, okay? Because you realize, again, there's nothing positive and negative. There's just life. So always stay present. And know this, you are a spirit existing in this physical way. That spirit, if it's an empty spirit, the spirit of anger, it will always be trying to seek validation from other spirits, trying to attract other spirits so that it gets validated. That's how we do. That's how we feel. We feel lonely. We look for love in other people. People cannot give you love. Human beings don't have love. All they have is thoughts of how love is. They've seen in movies. They've been taught by parents. But if there was a weak father, they don't know love. So they are relying on their feelings. Let's talk to Robin, and then we call it a night. Human beings don't have love. Whatever they are telling you is a false idea of love. That's an emotional love. They are basically telling you what they don't have so that you provide it to actually fulfill the thrill in them. That is emptiness. Oh, I love you. You love me. you love me. Where did you get the love from? Because love has to come from God through the man, to the woman, to the children. If there's absence of that, there's no love. There's an illusion. There's movies. There is a Hollywood drama in your head, and you are calling it love. It's not love. It's emptiness. Robin, are you there? I don't know if your internet is okay. I'm seeing yours. Oh, your internet is actually crazy. Robin, yeah. Babe, do you love me? I'm using this way. Hey, babe, you sure you love me, babe? Babe, hey, babe, I doubt. Babe, but babe. Ay, Hey. Hey. Feel of love is normal. No, there's nothing like, you can't feel love. You have love. Why would you feel? Feelings come from thoughts, and there's no love in your head. Feelings. I feel I love her. You love who? You don't. Where you had a weak father, so where did you get love from? You have anger. How can you have love and anger in the same heart? You will just be feeling. I feel. Feelings are thoughts. Thoughts are evil all the time, and they're lies. If you didn't have a father, if you don't have a relationship with your biological father, you don't have love. If you have anger, you don't have love. If you overthink, if you have fear, if you have doubt, you don't have love. If you don't know yourself, you're not self-aware, you can't even catch yourself overthinking, you have no love. Is there really happiness, or do we just lie to ourselves? There's no happiness, there's no sadness. All right? If something is good, you laugh, you move. Happiness is a feeling. Feelings are thoughts, and thoughts are evil. Laughter is something that is induced by hormones. Endorphins. Forget about that plastic thing that you do when you're posing for those photos. Ladies are so good at forcing this smile. Until they dry up their mouths with no saliva. They are just posing for one photo. Take 7. Take more. I'll edit. Now you edit those photos and you post them out here. A fake you. Imagine you in your fakeness. You take the best fake photo and you post it for us. And then you're expecting to attract a man who is real. Where are you going to get a real from? You posted the fake one. Now you want a real one. From where? You attract who you are. Post 7 photos back up dome mekauka. Nisaidie your lip balm. Cameraman, my lip balm. Now your cameraman has to pour that bag of yours with all these chemicals. He's like, which one? Hey, gun. Yes, Robin.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very fine.
Yes, talk to us, brother.
I just wanted to share on like my story on identity.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
So like this thing on regaining back your identity, it's not an easy journey.
Yes.
Because you see, like for me, I'm 22 years old, and I had no father.
Okay.
So, like my mother, for the last 22 years, she has inputted me all these fears.
Yes.
All these fears in my life. So like, there's no way like within just one week or just within 1 month I can just regain back my identity. It is a process.
Okay. And where is your father? Did he pass on?
No.
You know? Do you know him?
No.
And why don't you know him? Were you banned from knowing him, or you just don't care about him?
Yes.
Have you asked about him and they told you no?
Yes.
So you are... Oh, I understand. Now realize this, brother. You can actually walk out of this life free, bro. Free. Oh, free. Yes, you can walk out of this life free, and you'll never be in that prison under control of your mother. You can. The only thing you need to do is to make a call to her.
Yeah.
That is the only thing you need. You don't need a week or 7 months or a year. No. You can simply make a phone call to your mother and tell her, you know what? Along the way, I've realized that I've been resenting you for you not blocking me from knowing my father. And I know you're just doing the best for us. And because of that, I resented you. But now I realize that I'm wrong. I apologize. Once you say those words, you don't have to care about what your mother will say back. God will take that crazy feelings and emotions and anger and emptiness out of you, and He will fill you back with your own identity. And you'll never look at your mother the same way. You will detach from your mother. You'll become a man on your own.
That's true.
Bro, you can walk. Bro, you can come out of this life and earn your freedom. It is so amazing. The only thing you need is to gain the confidence to pick up that phone and call your mother. Because you see, all that your mother has loaded into your head for the last 22 years is how bad your father is. No wonder she starts the war when you ask about your father. And now you realize it's hard for you to actually find out who your father is, and you don't want to resent your mother anymore, and you don't want also to pick her identity, because once you resent her, you become just like her. So you want to overcome her evil nature, you want to overcome your father's weaknesses, because if he was a strong man, he will be there to protect you from getting these emotions from your mother. But he decided, I'm coming here to ejaculate and move. So now you realize, oh, my father was a weak man, and I don't want to be a weak man just like him. I also don't want to be an angry person just like my mother. So what do? I apologize to my mother for resenting her. I become a free man. And from there, I can see light in my own window. I know what to do. I'll know how to respond to her. And even if she gets hurt or she gets angry at that, it doesn't bother me because I've detached. You see that?
True.
You deserve freedom, brother. You deserve freedom. Go get your freedom.
Actually, what I wanted to say is that I can't even describe with words, but I'm very, very thankful. What you are doing,
Yeah.
this thing of identity, gaining up back our identity, unafanya kazi poa sana, because
Yeah.
you know there is this verse in the Bible that confuses people.
Yeah.
Oh, children, obey your parents in the Lord.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yes.
No, you see, it is in the road.
Yeah.
It's not just obey your parents, obey your parents like how we had the story of Patrick and everything.
Mm.
And you see, some of these churches,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a Christian,
Yeah.
the pastors are not even that perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
You know, I've been a Christian for the last, I got born again in 2020. So I had no father who was guiding me.
Yeah.
So I'm more by my own. You see,
Yeah.
so it has been a journey. It has not it has not been an easy journey.
Mm.
It has not been an easy journey regaining back identity. So the moment I popped in you, I came across your life and I was like, this guy is saying the very thing I've been trying.
Amazing.
I've been trying to regain my identity.
Yeah.
But I was still falling back because I was doing it by my own. But the moment I came on your life and you were like supporting, ulikuwa unasema vitu zenye naamini.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yeah.
Like a man should be stoic, not be emotional.
Yeah.
But the church will teach you to be emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
But nowadays, I usually walk in the town very bold.
Yeah, man.
And I'm very grateful. So what I can say is that thank you so much for what you are doing. Words cannot describe what I really feel in my heart, but thank you so much for this Identity Fridays.
Man, amazing, brother. Amazing, man. Thank you so much also for trusting us with this. And thank you for coming out bold. The same boldness that actually made you request to be on this live is the same boldness that will lead you into getting your own identity from your mother, and you'll become a super human being. I bless you, brother, and I wish you well.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. That is Robin has just closed it up for us. This is amazing, man. This is amazing. Now listen. Aye. What are you saying? A lot of mothers will decide to punish children with the anger that they got from these children's fathers. When children were being made, these children have nothing to do with you and your boyfriend or your husband. They have nothing. So you cannot punish these children with the anger that you have, and then you expect these children to actually support you. It's going to be chaotic. And apparently, this is what we're actually having. Somebody has asked me a question. Before I respond to that, Robin said something. There's a verse in the Bible that says children to obey their parents through the Lord. Very true. Now you see, that point where we say through the Lord is where they draw the line. They want to focus so much on this obedience, but they forget about the Lord. Because for you to be obeyed by your children, there must be order. There must be that spiritual order of life, that God above men, men above women, women above children. So there must be love flowing from God to the man, man to the woman, woman to the children, and vice versa. Now you get respect and submission and obedience. You wouldn't get obedience if there's no father, because obedience comes as a result of being the trickling of the love. But there's no love. So how do you expect obedience? But you focus on that obedience part because you are a radical Christian. You focus on that obedience part. But you have anger. So you have anger and you're telling us about obedience. Who will obey the angry you? Who will obey the insecure you? Who? Obedience is an energy. You don't bring that energy. I'm looking at him like, you're weak. How can I obey a weak? How can I respect a weak male? You have a handshake that is so shaky. I'm looking at it. I'm shaking your hand. I'm thinking, bro, are you just from masturbating or something? Shake my hand and look straight into my eyes and tell me, hey, you know what? How are you, sir? I'm like, I'm good. Don't ask me, how is your wife? Ask me, how is your family? I'm like, my family is cool. I don't know about my wife. You want a threesome? Wow. Wonder. So somebody asked me, what is this that actually happens between a man, a husband and a wife? I'm like, what type of a question is this? What type of question is this? Most of these marriages have no husbands and have no wives. That's why they are sharing bills. So they are partners. That's why you say, oh, this is my partner. Partner, is it a business? Husband, the word husband means a man who understands that word of God. The husband is a title that is given to a man who has married a woman. And he married from getting an identity and the revelation, and he attracted who he is. So most of these unions that you see masquerading around as marriages are just partnerships and unions. They are chamas of two women. Two women. Then one woman, aka the husband, is blaming this now the second woman, the wife. Oh, you have grown masculine. Oh, you don't do this. You don't do this. Complaining all the time. When will you ever fix and find solutions? Your children are suffering because of those complaints that you're experiencing, that you're expressing weaknesses. So your children are suffering because of that. Now we have to be here telling your children what to do instead of you being a man and teaching your children how to love people. Instead of helping them drop anger, you want them to go to a psychiatrist because you have the resources. You can actually pay for consultation fee and buy antidepressants for your children. Oh, human beings are evil. Human beings are evil and they hide in these relationships. Kanayo, thanks so much, Doc Lewis. Working with you has always opened my eyes and soul. Barikiwa sana. Asante sana. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Ndimbo, Mungu ni mwema. Amazing. God is always great. And God loves you, people. God loves you. And God is the spirit of truth inside you. It loves you. It only wants you to actually allow it to work with you. So stop being resistant. Stop being resistant. Allow that spirit of good to work with you. The more you lie, the more you dig your own hell. And go Chile, please advertise host. Well, okay. Thank you so much, Kekeli. So sometimes these platforms make you just forget these things. But anyway, we stay present. I have a platform on YouTube that teaches about health. And if you are here on TikTok, you've not followed me, kindly just follow us and let's build the numbers. On YouTube, I exist as Health and Wellness Spot. And also, I exist as Uncle Chile. So Health and Wellness Spot is a strict channel for health. And all those questions about health, you can ask on Health and Wellness Spot. We have a live on Monday and a live on Tuesday. So next week, we have a live on Monday on Health and Wellness Spot. We have a testimonial Tuesday on Health and Wellness Spot. Amazing. Be there, learn something about health, and then share your testimonies on health matters. Every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time, we are on Uncle Chile platform on YouTube, sharing these nuggets of fixing people's identities so that you drop those false identities and become who you are, who you are designed to be. That is what we call purpose. And you cannot get that purpose without an identity. So those are my two platforms on YouTube. Go there and subscribe on both, Health and Wellness Spot and Uncle Chile. All right? On Facebook, I exist as Lewis Muchile, and all other platforms, if you search Lewis Muchile, you'll see. Okay? That's amazing. I have another healthy platform on Telegram called Health and Wellness Spot. So don't go on Telegram and just look for pornography and Alicia Kanini. Go there and look for Health and Wellness Spot. It will teach you something. It is actually a community of people who understand health. They will keep you in check. All right? Yes. And then come in open-minded. Don't come in with a fixated mind because we will whip you hard. And if you become angry, no problem. And then from 26th of this month all the way to the 5th of next month, we will be in Nairobi for our physical consultations as usual. Our offices are in Nairobi, and we actually offer consultation services both for identities and for health in Nairobi. So you can start booking through the office contact that Kekeli has posted on TikTok. Let me post it here. It's 0707 07 47 22. That is our contact for consultations, and is an office contact. contact. So do not call. Simply send a WhatsApp message. They will respond to you. And when they respond to you, you can book your appointment and we can have these conversations when we are in Nairobi. The same contact can be used to book an online consultation that happens every evening after my daytime job. All right? So we can have that conversations and see how we can change and make each other better. Remember, as I become better, you become better, we become better. That's what we are designed to do. Our role is to ease pain and suffering from your life. That's why we start fixing your identities. And secondary to that, we also help you fix health. I'm glad that people joined my weight loss program that is lasting 2 months. Every month we have a weight loss program. So this month program is closed because we always start on the 15th. It is closed until next month. We have a 3-month program for next month. So you can use the same contact to inquire for that also. Again, we have merchandise that is coming in, and we have some very good t-shirts that are coming in that are embroidered with our label. It's not a branding. Basically it's a branding, but now it's embroidered. I think I'll put up or I'll put on one of those t-shirts that you can see next week, and just see if you can actually purchase that and make the gospel bigger. Support our channel through buying super chats, joining our memberships, sending us an M-Pesa, and buying those merchandise. It shall be amazing. So thank you so much for being here, pushing this gospel all through. It's been amazing. You've been an amazing audience. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God open up your ways so that you can actually see light and stop depending on people. Somebody saying, how much is the t-shirt? I will communicate once you see those t-shirts, okay? Yeah, the embroidered t-shirts are a little bit expensive, but you'll see. I'll communicate the price. And it's worth it. It's just an amazing thing to put on either Uncle Chile or Health and Wellness Sport hose to begin with. Or Uncle Chile, do you have anger? Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for being an amazing audience. I wish you well. Have a good night and see light.